radio or driving to the punk rock show. Well, I don't wanna hear your podcast. No, I don't wanna hear your podcast. I got nothing to do today, and you got so many things to say. Still, I don't wanna hear your podcast. No, I don't wanna hear your podcast. You're just another voice in the crowd, and you don't dare to say what's not allowed. You bought a new pop filter and a fancy microphone, so go enjoy yourself and leave me alone. Show. Well, I don't wanna hear your podcast. I don't wanna hear your podcast. I got nothing to do today, and you got so many things to say. Still, I don't wanna hear your podcast. No, I don't wanna hear your podcast. You're just another voice in the crowd, and you don't dare to say what's not allowed. You bought a new pop filter and a fancy microphone, so go enjoy yourself and leave me alone. Go enjoy yourself and leave me alone.
Hey. Let me see. Can I hear myself? Does anybody mess with my buttons here? No, volume's up. Yeah. I just can't hear myself very well. How are you guys?
Oh, wow. My volume is maxed.
Wow, it is maxed. Welcome to Liberty Late Night. I am Mary.
I'm Dave. Happy Friday.
Nice to see you guys. So, let's see. We got Chad was first. Oh, my gosh. Hello, Chad. How you doing?
Bonjour.
Craig says he is 12th. Which is weird because, he was second. How are you? How's the pupper dogs? How are the hikes going? Hey, Aaron. What's up? Best mod in the whole game. I'll tell you what.
We'll work on that catchphrase.
I don't know. I was trying to just say, how awesome he is, but then I'm can't word, right? Apparently. I feel like I'm short right now. I feel super short. I don't know. Maybe the thingy got moved a little bit.
I actually moved it down a little.
Really?
So that it'd be better. Be more better.
Let's see. Oh, Keith McQuarrie. How you doing? How are
Keith's
you?
Button yet.
I know. We got to get Keith a button. That's going to be our button for Keith. Because we kept saying that about... That was my drink. Mm-hmm. We kept saying that about Adam. Yep. That we should just make a button that says...
Yeah. It says Adam.
Hey, what's going on, Slither? Nobody disrupt my happy mood. We were,
Yeah, we were giggling about that.
Giggling about that. How are you? You got to push this button.
Oh, yeah.
Also... Lord Emperor Slytherin, sir. Take a seat, gentlemen.
Alan Mosley's here. Did you know that? Everybody?
Ooh,
yeah.
Nobody gives a shit.
Here's another guy. We need to get him a button.
I feel like we should get a more friendly button for Alan.
Oh, probably. I think he likes it. And if you don't, Alan, just let us know, and we'll take it away.
Yeah, Chad, we're all over the place.
MC, how are you? Happy Friday to you. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having fun at work right now. You get to leave and go home soon. Shillelagh is annoyed with me because I kept asking her for advice and my mission to rescue D3, and she was watching a show. Well, tell her that I appreciate you guys helping out my son, because I heard he stepped in some lava.
Yeah, it didn't work out. He lost all this stuff.
Oh, man. All right.
Don't play in the nether.
I appreciate you guys.
That's what you get.
Hey, it's Volunteer Bee. How you doing, Celeste? Love you and miss you. Yeah, Tomas. Hi. Let's get it started in here, right? We should play that song and then we get in trouble, though. But yeah. I'm singing it in my head.
Big trouble.
Yeah. Yep. Gear. Happy fucking Friday. That's right. Oh. Happy Friday to you. Have you been riding your motorcycle?
I know you've done something.
Man, it's hot today. I tell you what, it is. And I'm not going to complain, but woo, just the thickness in the air. It's like 3 C's thick right now. Like,
gross.
Yeah, I just can't even breathe. I'm just so uncomfortable. Just so uncomfortable. Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay, Chad, I see. Yep. Monsieur. Hello. I saw pictures of your baby today. Yes, she's adorable in every way. Her little voice and everything. She's so cute. I really don't like it very much. Wait, but you made don't small, so I don't know. Oh, vacation for 10 days.
He kind of likes it.
Wait, vacation for 10 days. Do you have COVID? Or
you're
just on vacation? MC. Tell me what's going on. Okay. I think I'm getting, she's a crazy baby. Gosh. Oh my gosh. I definitely don't want any more children, but I want to be around babies and kids, like other people's babies, like little babies, and be like, oh my gosh, you're so cute. And look at your chunky little legs. And then, like go back to your mommy and daddy, cause I'm done with that. But I'm just so happy that you guys, you just seem like really good parents, and you're having fun, and she's so cute and happy, but you can't control, a baby, and when they're like 3 months old, you really can't.
Oh, she's getting mobile.
It's like you can't, if they're unhappy, there's sometimes you just can't do anything about it. You just have to like kind of wait through that period of whatever's making them moody, Crazy baby rolled over. Can't put her on the bed anymore now. Yep.
Advanced age.
Because, ask him, is he listening? Oh, okay.
Oh. Good. Those are the more fun vacations.
Took the Tom Project Share for a ride around the block. Real vacation. Oh, that's,
Your neighbors must love that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Also, message me where you guys, what Airbnb you went to. I mean, I'm assuming it's kind of around here, or maybe the lakeshore somewhere else. But I've thought about, just doing like a staycation and getting an Airbnb around here, like down by the lake. And
why not?
Yeah. Okay, so I got to shut the hell up because the meeting starts at 9:45, which is 5. Well, it said meeting. I know. Okay, that's why I read it.
We have a meeting tonight with Mr. Maharrey.
Yeah. So anyway,
Liberty Late Night, one word.
Yep. I'm happy. I'm excited to be here. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, we've been working Twitch hard. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
really
Twitch
interactive.
It is. It's so
low
fast.
latency.
Yeah. Yep. So I hope you guys are having a good start to your August. I'm a little bummed that it's already August.
I know. Let's get the cars inspected.
Oh yeah, that's true.
All right.
But like winter's coming, and I have to stop focusing on that because I don't like winter. Thank you, Gear. So anyway, I'm just embracing every moment, embracing that hot, thick air. Just
hot and thick. All right, let's talk about what we're about to do.
Shut the hell up. Yeah.
So every week we give away a prize. This round we're giving away Liberty Late Night mugs to all the Patreons one at a time. Mm-hmm. So if you follow us on Patreon, you can win this cool. It looks like this.
Drink again. Yeah. Exactly.
But on a mug.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, thank you.
Thanks for the follow.
Yes.
And so, let's go to the wheel.
Okay, we'll go to the wheel. Find out who's going to be the winner. Winner chicken dinner. Hot and thick. Yep.
So if you enjoy yourself And before it gets too annoying and you want to support us, you can support us at patreon.com/Liberty Late Night. Keep us going, encouraged, showing up.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We appreciate it. And to each of you for being here and hanging out with us. We love you guys so much.
For your pleasure.
I understand disgruntled. I do. I like something to, like, just even if it's a little thing to look forward to. Like, you know, this is my little time, my little, you know, read a book or, like, go outside and just have, like, 10 minutes to myself where it's quiet, you know?
All right, let her rip.
Happy time, happy time. Oh, chat on Twitch. All right, thank you.
Who we got?
I can't read it. It's so tiny.
Looks like Cameron. Cameron Kogan.
All right.
All right, and I'm gonna send these out in a batch. I know nobody's gotten them yet, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna work out. Otherwise, this is gonna get really awkward. So we're gonna remove all instances.
Yep.
There we go. I'm gonna save that.
Yes. Woo! Hey, Firestone. How you doing?
And are we doing a movie night or what?
We'll have to do it on Tuesday.
Gonna do it
'cause of
Tuesday
work.
again?
Yeah. Movie night's gonna be postponed again this week because of Dave's work schedule. So, not that he has any say in it, but we do enjoy our movie night with you guys.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna do it.
Tuesday night. Do you want to like mix it up so they're not in alphabetical order?
Sure.
Okay. So instead of Sunday night movie night this week, it's going to be Tuesday night movie night. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And it's gonna be over here at twitch.tv/LLN movie night.
What?
Hey!
Oh, yay!
Nice.
Stream video. Sweet.
All right.
Yeah, so we'll see what we're going to watch. We got a wheel here to spin. Y'all
So
know
that'll
the
be Tuesday
drill.
night, 9:30 Eastern.
Tuesday night, 9:30 Eastern at this address.
Oh, I gotta get UHF off there. Problem Child.
Oh, wait. Okay, wait.
I remember that.
I
That's
know
like a 90s. Like,
Yeah, maybe. Just
Yeah,
make
why
sure there's
not?
no boobies in it.
let's see what happens.
Yeah,
Let's
because,
see
you
what
know,
happens. Maybe we'll call an audible.
Twitch.
Some of these movies, I'm like, how did that get on there? Somebody out there loves it and they wanted it on here.
Yeah, I have no idea. I can't even remember that movie, but it sounds very.
All right, back to the bar.
Yep. Yes.
There it is,
Oh,
Aaron.
good. Disgruntled. I'm happy.
Go ahead and
Yay. It's Tuesday. Tuesday movie
It's on
night.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Look at
Yeah,
that,
so
just
we're going to
in
do
time,
that.
man.
Problem
We
Child.
are killing it.
I'm trying to really remember that.
It's almost like a Dennis the Menace type deal, I think.
Okay. Yep. Hey, well, whatever. We'll see. You know,
Oh,
no nips though, because Twitch.
No nips.
No
Twitch
nips.
got angry.
Twitch got real
Smacked
mad
our
that there
pee-pee
were
pretty hard.
some nips in Animal House. So, yeah, slap your pee-pee. All right. Let's see. Wait, I'll do all the. Oh. There you go. Wait, Kramer's problem? What? Oh,
What?
okay. All right. Oh, you're not an easy guy to impress, huh?
Let me turn that
Look at
off.
that. Look at that. There he is. The man of the hour.
Oh, good connection.
Dave's going to get you connected. Can you hear us, Mike?
I'm
That's
guessing no.
You go ahead and work on all that.
Yeah, you,
Can we still say nips?
you can say it. You just can't show them.
Wait, why is it
Oh, wait.
racist?
Oh, that's what my grandpa used to call the Asians.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was an island hopper. He got pretty racist about
But
it.
I meant like nipples.
Yeah, I know that's what you mean.
Oh my gosh, I meant. Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
I forgot that's a
Oh my
slur.
gosh. I never knew that. Oh my word.
Let me make sure we have this set up right.
Okay, Dave's gonna do that. Well, sorry. I'll just say the whole damn word then. Nipples.
Can you hear us, Mike?
And Mike's like, what am I walking in?
Oh, okay. Hey, let me bring you in. I have
Jamie
a bunch of-
Pyle! Hello! Craig is shocked. I had no idea. We'll have to ask Mike if he knew about that. Bob's there. Just said
Yeah, that's
Bob's.
pretty good.
Yes.
I'll straighten that
Hey,
up.
Mike,
Mike
there you
Maharrey.
are. Yeah, thanks for coming back and hanging out.
Yeah,
Super
fun.
nice to have you. So this is your first time using the desktop setup, you said?
Yeah, normally I've used my laptop to do video and stuff, but I thought this works better because I can see you guys. Because usually the
Yay.
laptop's over here.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's no
okay.
fun.
No, that's good. That's real good. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you again. It was so much fun meeting you in person.
Oh yeah, that was neat.
It was.
Yep.
Down in Tennessee.
Jamie's here. Jay Hans is here also. Yes, hello everybody. You know how we roll, Mike. We wave and point and do all these things. So.
Alan Mosley is in the
I see
chat.
Alan Mosley's already being rude in the chat.
Okay, I was gonna say if you can see the chat, just ignore the Alan.
I'll stick Aaron.
He might have to be banned.
Well,
Aaron will give him a timeout if he gets too
he
rowdy.
is on Twitch, so Aaron can do that little timeout there for you if you want. Okay, so I'm going to take a deep breath here, and I'm going to ask you a question that has nothing to do with anything that I was going to ask, but I just learned right now, that I was talking about nipples. And I said nips. And then everyone's like, well, not everybody, but some people are like, are you allowed to say that? Apparently, that's a slur. Did you know that?
I had no. Well, yeah, I guess it is. It's a slur for Japanese.
Yep.
From like back in World War II.
Right? I had no clue.
That's the only reason I knew, because my grandpa was there, and I'm like, oh yeah.
It's your grandpa.
So funny you mentioned that. Well, this is already going off the rails.
Yep.
So
I barely had a drink.
my wife and I took the afternoon off and hung out.
I saw that.
It was nice, yeah. So we started off going to a history museum here in Tarpon Springs.
Oh, nice.
And there was a whole like display of World War II stuff, like where people who had served, and there was a old newspaper that had the end of the war, and it said Japs surrender.
Yeah.
And so we were like, you couldn't print that today.
No, yeah.
It's inappropriate.
We had to demonize him at the point. It was fine. You could say whatever you wanted. You know?
See, I knew that one, but I never knew. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. My grandfather was also, he was
Pull
World
that
War
off.
II,
Yeah.
Korea, and Vietnam, so I know a lot of slurs.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. Well, I learn something every day. Every day you learn something new, you know?
Another wrinkle. Another wrinkle in your brain.
Another wrinkle in my brain. So what I wanted to kind of start off with was that I saw on your Facebook page that a few days ago you got blocked by a friend or just an acquaintance. I can't remember the relationship exactly, but it was because you had asked about, you know, Taiwan and China and everything. And he said, well, you know, they don't like to be called Chinese. And
Really?
well, Taiwan, they're kind of,
Oh,
they
oh,
want to be
Taiwan
their
doesn't- I was
own,
like, that's-
yeah, their own thing.
Right.
So,
Okay,
They don't-
yeah.
What he said was they don't consider themselves Chinese.
Yes.
oh, okay. But that
Which,
totally
fair
didn't
enough.
even answer your question, though, because you wanted to know why should the U.S. be getting involved. So what the heck? What
$1 million question there.
What spurred on, like, all of this? Like, I just know, like, Pelosi went over and some other person, and I'm like, what the hell are they doing? Like,
Yeah, why
what
is
are
this
they
a
doing?
thing
So, so this was rando Facebook dude. I didn't really know him. I would assume most people that I'm connected with on Facebook are either that I don't know are libertarians, or they're like neocons from way back when it was
Yeah.
Tea Party. Like
Okay.
most of them I've probably weeded out by now. But I assume this guy was probably some manner of libertarian. So he had posted how great it was that Pelosi went to Taiwan, and the first thing I just asked why, and then
question.
he said, "Well, we've got to support Taiwan," and I was like, "Why?" and then I said something to the effect of, "I don't understand why the United States should insert
Yeah.
itself into, you know, something that's going on in China." And that's when he said, well, they don't consider themselves Chinese. And I said, you didn't answer my question. And at that point, I was blocked. So that was the end of that conversation.
Does that mean we're done with Ukraine now? Do I have to get a whole new set of decorations?
Oh, yeah.
You do. You got to get
Yeah.
new flags, and new screens for your.
What's the colors now? What are the
Frames.
colors now? Like, yeah, what's the, what's out, what's in, you know, what's...
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with. And
It
you know,
is.
I mean, I'm sympathetic with
Yeah.
the Taiwanese, but
Sure.
I still don't understand why we should. When I say we, I hate when I say
Yeah,
we.
I know, I
don't
catch
mean
myself.
we.
I
It's
know.
like that
United
team.
States government.
I know.
You
We're
know,
going to the
if-
Super Bowl.
If the Chinese government was like doing stuff in Canada, you know, everybody would be like, "Oh my God, we got a bong,
Right.
you know? So
Yep.
I don't know. It's frustrating to me that so many people think that it's perfectly fine to do things that are clearly meant to be antagonistic, clearly meant to elicit a response. And then when you get the response, it's like pearl clutching. Like, how could the Chinese threaten like U.S. senator? Well, she went over there. I mean, everybody knew this was going to happen. It's really stupid.
It is.
In my never to be humble opinion.
It's always, but why though? Like,
Yeah.
I always wonder about the timing of these things. Like, all of a sudden, hasn't Taiwan been upset about this for quite a while? I mean,
Yeah, we're
Right. I mean, this has been going on for decades.
Yeah.
You know. But here's something that I thought, and you know, this will upset a lot of people, but I think a lot of Americans need to start getting used to the fact that their little club is not going to be the head of the empire anymore. I mean, this is an empire that is on its death throes.
it feels
You know,
like
if you look at the economic situation, if you look at where the dollar is, if you look at the overextension of foreign policy, it's over, and you know, you might as well get used to it. Sorry.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I kind of felt that like when I go to the grocery store and I'm like, well, I guess I'm not getting applesauce today. Like, this is America, right? Why is that whole section of the shelf empty?
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Yeah.
And they're telling us to eat
get
bugs.
crunchy peanut butter. Crunchy peanut butter.
Yeah, I saw that
Are you
So
serious?
here's a crazy thing.
for a little while.
You know,
Peanut butter was. Let me.
my wife was at a little farmer's market here in town, and somebody was there looking for watermelons. They're like, why are there no watermelons? And so my wife's overhearing this conversation. Apparently, farmers are plowing watermelons under. And
That's sad.
again, it has to do with they can't use the fertilizer and stuff, so they're not growing right. So they're like, F it, you know, we're just it's not worth growing them, so we're just gonna plow them under because that way next year we can grow them because there'll be some fertilizer in the soil. But you know, there's this whole thing that nitrogen fertilizer is now part of global warming, so you know, we can't grow any food, which is what that whole thing in Denmark and the big issue in what was it? What, Nepal? Over there.
Yeah,
Over there.
I wouldn't.
in that direction.
But that's what that was all about.
Yeah.
You know, that there's this new movement that we're not going to be able to grow anything. And, and here's my new angle on this, because, you know, we're always being lectured from the left about our privilege. Well, anybody who's pushing for all of this climate change stuff, you're coming at it from a position of privilege. If you live in Africa or you know, parts of Southeast Asia,
Yeah.
you don't have time to worry about the freaking climate. You're trying to grow enough food to feed your family for the year. These are the people that are going to suffer and die. And all of a sudden, you know, these European and American elites, somehow that privilege doesn't matter. It's really annoying. Anyway, I'm
No.
digressing.
Yeah, it's gonna go all over the place.
It's totally fine.
I need Alan's button, the Norm Macdonald button.
Oh, the gobbledygook, communist gobbledygook or whatever.
Yeah, it's
Now, what about, so they're saying that their fertilizer is
bad for the environment.
bad for the environment. So, but
Right, it has to do with the nitrogen, and I don't understand the science.
yeah.
So
But what about who's the Monsanto or whatever?
Yeah.
You know, and they use like big chemicals and yuckiness
Yeah, I'm sure
to like.
they can afford it.
But they're
They're
allowed
allowed.
to. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
they're part of the
it's
club.
Yeah, they're too big to fail.
Yeah, part of the club.
Exactly. the little Georgia farmer trying to grow some watermelons for the farmer's market. He's ruining the environment, but in Monsanto, no.
Right,
they're,
right.
They're
Feeding the world.
Yeah. Oh, Monsanto. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Hey, Mike. How you doing? We got another mic here. Wow. It's just so ragey. Like, where do you put all, like, do you get upset when
Yeah, because you're deep into everything.
Like, you know a lot of stuff, and
Our ignorance is bliss.
I am like, I just can't look at it, so I'm not going to look at it. You know, what do you do do you get ragey?
I'm more prone to get depressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So what do you do then when that happens?
Play hockey.
Oh,
there you go.
all right.
Slam into some people. That always works.
Go to the
Yes.
beach.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
I think it is important to, you know, keep those connections and that sanity. If you're doing this as work,
Yeah.
Yep.
Because, you know, there's the whole thing. You get the red pill and the blue pill and the white pill and the black pill. I'm pretty black pill, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm kind of trying to work for, so maybe there'll be some shred of something left for my kids when these MFers collapse everything. Is this what is this show rated?
Whatever
you want.
Am I allowed to say bad words?
Oh yeah. Yep. I'm like, yes, please do.
That's what brought up the whole nipple conversation was. Neither of us, but it was.
We were watching a movie and it had, you know, it was
Twitch
Animal House and Twitch was like, whoop, nope to the nipples.
Yeah, we'll watch Rambo and stuff. People getting their heads and arms blown off, but Twitch found that nipple.
Yeah, shut it down. Only temporary, but.
Yeah. Well.
Oh gosh. All right. So you know, what was the outcome of Nancy's little trip over there? What, you know, did she save the world?
I'm assuming they didn't kill her.
Yeah, when I saw that she was going over, and I get most of my news from memes, and there was memes about the Chinese said they were going to shoot her out of the sky, and I'm like, well, that'll be interesting.
Wow.
You know, and it's like that'd be like crazy cool. Like memes would be amazing, but also World War III would be. I'm not really.
Yeah. I kind of don't feel like doing that. You know,
I mean, I don't really know what her whole point was. You know, what was she trying to accomplish? I don't know.
What is the?
And I hadn't paid attention to it really. I mean, I knew it was going on.
Sure,
it's not something like I was digging deep.
You were
into,
like dialed in. Yeah.
I spend most of my time doing 10th Amendment Center stuff, which is more domestic.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, you know, I have opinions on foreign policy, but it's certainly not my area of expertise. So
yeah. Hi, Roger.
I just know that America should butt out in most cases, because pretty much, you know, it's interesting. Okay, so here's my analogy. Something I do understand is economics, right? We have the whole principle in economics of the knowledge problem, where whenever central planners try to central plan the economy, they're always going to run into problems because there's no way that they can have enough knowledge to do all of the right things and not have unintended consequences. The same thing is true in foreign policy, as far as I can tell. So even if they're going in with good intentions, you know, we're going to go make democracy in Iraq. Well, look how well that worked. You know, everything that they do blows up in their face. So maybe at some point you just stop. I don't know.
Yeah. Back off and let other people evolve at their own pace.
Right. Exactly.
Maybe they're not ready for democracy.
I mean, they're not. It's not going to help having the U.S. Navy, you know, as part of the solution.
Certainly not.
So we're just going to level some places. We're going to install this guy, and your lives are going to be a lot better.
Yeah.
Right. And it's always install this guy. You know?
Yeah. Just that simple. Hey, Adam, how you doing? It just blows my mind that, you know, people like, I like what you say though, being sympathetic. You can be sympathetic to the people,
sure,
but you can still say, but we shouldn't get involved, you know?
Well, and then, you know, I'm sympathetic with Chinese people. I mean, they didn't pick this government, right? And that's what irks me, you know, it's like, and that's one of the big problems with statism and nationalism. You get so wrapped up in your tribe, and you forget that those are just normal people. Like, they probably don't like their guy any more than I like Biden. You know, they're just over there trying to raise their kids and
not get arrested.
Know. Yeah.
So why should I hate them?
Right.
I hate their government, but I hate my own government too. So, you know.
There's something we can all get on board
on. That's so great.
Now I'm on a list. Did you see that the
ANCAPs,
that FBI document that was apparently the ANCAP flag is terrorism.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I heard about that. I think I was listening to Alan's show, but I was dealing with the kids, and I think he had mentioned it, or you guys had
free markets
it.
are dangerous.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. We're extremists.
I guess it depends on who you are. It could be dangerous to your.
I mean, I figure I've been on the list for a long time from the point that we tried to shut down the NSA facility in Utah.
Wow, what?
Better keep an eye on that guy.
No, I don't think I do. Please share.
Okay, so this is one of I think this is one of TAC's crowning achievements. Around about the time that all of the disclosures started coming out that Snowden released. Michael Bolden started sitting and thinking about, what we do typically is try to do state and local stuff that undermines federal power. Decentralization is kind of the whole key. So it's like we're thinking about how do you use state and local power against the NSA? And on the surface, it's like nothing, right?
Yeah,
nothing. Well, Bolden, to his credit, started doing some reading. We find out that the NSA facility in Maryland has maxed out its power grid. So they're looking for places to move. And that's why they built this big data center out. Right, they didn't have the power. So then we find out that the facility in Utah uses like some astronomical amount of water, like 40 million gallons a day. And that water is supplied by the city of Bluffdale through a contract.
But I'm supposed to turn off the faucet when I brush my teeth.
There you go. Turn off the water. So there's nothing that says that the city of Bluffdale has to enter into an agreement to supply water to the NSA. So we actually created a piece of legislation that would have turned off the water. And got introduced, and we were working. It was kind of cool. I mean, we were working with a very diverse group of people, including Greenpeace. Greenpeace actually floated a balloon, like, I can't remember what it said. Something about the NSA.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Thing, that's some interesting friends.
The bill actually got a committee hearing, and then so what they did, in Utah there's a procedure where they can kind of hold it for further study, which when they do that, it requires them to hold a public hearing. So the summer after, they actually held this public hearing. There was hundreds of people there and made pretty big splash in the news, and then it was supposed to be reintroduced next year, and then the powers that be kind of crushed it.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Basically, from what I understand, there was a lot of backdoor threats coming from the Pentagon. And
holy moly!
But anyway, it was
There's a bullet in my mailbox.
Cool.
This is weird.
What's this bullet in my mailbox? Wow.
Yeah. So
that is just, I mean, that's just terrible that they can go ahead and do that. That. See, I need to go to the beach. I need to go to the beach.
Just the idea of like their water being cut off and all those processors frying.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
It sounds so
it also, I mean, it's such a simple thing. And then when you start looking at it, there's a big NSA facility in San Antonio that's using the public power grid, which could also be turned off.
Yep.
So it's obviously these politicians don't really have the guts to do it, but it could be done. And similar thing was before or after that. I can't remember time. How that goes.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Yep.
Back in
I can't remember if it was 6 years ago or 3 months ago.
I know.
It's blurry.
I'm like the other day.
Back
in 1990.
The TSA rolled out the naked body scanners. Everybody was really.
I remember that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there was a bill introduced in Texas, and here's a dirty little. Well, I'll get to that in a second. Bill introduced in Texas basically would have made any of the groping that they do sexual assault, because it's literally sexual assault, right? Mm-hmm. And that actually passed the Texas House and went to the Texas Senate and was gonna pass the Texas Senate, and then the feds figured out what was going on, and they basically said they were going to shut down all of Texas's airspace if they did that.
Wow.
Which, if it was me, I would have been like, do it.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Because they wouldn't have
call
done
their bluff.
There's no way.
Yep.
Because if they had shut down Texas airspace, I mean, think about the airlines that have hubs in Texas. You got American Airlines in Dallas. You've got Southwest in Dallas.
Yep.
You had a Continental in Houston. They wouldn't have done it. It was all a big bluff.
Yep.
But that would be great, because it's like, okay, you want to put this rule on the books, and then suddenly nobody's following it. I love that stuff. It's like the speed limit,
So here's the other thing that they could do. This is how you shut down TSA. TSA has no arrest powers. So they can't really do anything. Mm-hmm. That's why you have local cops at every airport checkpoint. They're the ones that would have to actually make an arrest. So you could theoretically say, we're not going to allow the police officers to assist in these things.
Just neuter them.
Yeah.
There's so much that could be done if people had the willingness to resist. Unfortunately, most people want to just go sue in federal court or vote for Trump.
Yeah, and it's all like, baby steps. It's like, well, whatever, I'll go along with this. That's fine, And next thing you know, there's
where we are. Yeah.
The only people that have any guts are the weed people.
Right. Total disregard.
Yeah. which and in all seriousness, that's why the states have basically been able to nullify federal marijuana prohibition.
Because they can't enforce it.
I mean, right. And they can't enforce it. But the reason the reason that political movement started to begin with is that there were already so many people that were smoking weed anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like the states legalizing followed what people were already doing.
Yeah.
And now it's basically made it so the feds can't do a whole lot. And I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they don't finally just say, okay, we're just going to decriminalize it or whatever.
Yeah.
Fine.
Just do it. Yeah.
I say all the time, if the freaking gun people had half the guts of the weed people,
Oh, right.
you could shut down gun control.
Good.
It doesn't have to be enforced.
No.
But all the gun people are like, no, we have to respect the law and respect our boys in blue. Fuck them.
Ew.
Oh,
what? My gosh.
I saw in a truck today, with all the, don't tread on me type stuff, and then down on the bumper, thin blue line.
Thin blue line.
Back the blue.
Yeah.
Cops are the worst.
Oh my gosh.
If you want to know anything that not anything, but the vast majority of the legislation we work at the state level. So anything to undermine federal gun control, anything to do with trying to reform asset forfeiture, anything that has to do with rolling back the drug war, anything that has to do with rolling back surveillance, the number one opposition is the freaking cops.
Mm-hmm.
They oppose everything, and it's it's the right wingers with the guns who are like, oh well, we can't not partner with the feds because we need our partnerships and we're getting the bad guys.
The bad guys.
This is the stuff that makes me angry.
There we go. We found it.
We hit a button.
But I like that. Yeah. If suddenly everybody started violating all gun laws, it's like, are you really going to try to arrest all these armed people? No, it's one thing. They can't even arrest all the stoned people.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got a bunch of sober people with weapons.
I remember for a while I was in this Second Amendment group that was like Florida, and one day they had some guy in there and he's like, my son is a cadet for the Manatee County Sheriff's Department, and he gave us all of the rules. Here's what you need to do to carry a gun in your car, And I said, tell him to just get a fucking warrant. Actually, use that word.
Yeah.
And I got banned.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think when I first got mine, I was trying to figure out what the PA stuff was, and it's like, if you don't have a concealed carry permit, you have to have, like, if you move it in your car, you have to have, like, the gun open in, like, the glove box in a separate box, and then any ammunition has to be, like, in the trunk. You can't have it, like...
Yeah,
it's like, this is...
Isn't it garbage?
This is stupid.
It's such garbage.
Yeah. I did the whole concealed carry license thing when I lived in Kentucky, and then I moved down here. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, PA ain't too bad. I mean, you just have to go fill it out, and you're like, they don't turn you down as long as you answer the question right of why you want it.
But if you have a medical marijuana card,
oh yeah, well you can't. Oh, I don't even know if
you can't. I don't.
You can't buy a gun, but I don't know.
I don't think you can conceal carry either.
Oh man,
you can't.
But that's
and you can't buy any new guns.
That's a whole other thing. Like. I remember when I think it was Utah when they finally legalized. Can you believe that Utah?
Yeah.
Has legalized medical marijuana. How about that?
Yep.
But when they did that, I remember that there was all this wailing and gnashing of teeth. Well, if I have a medical marijuana card, I go and buy a gun. One of the questions on the federal form is do you use marijuana? I'm like, well, the answer is just no.
Yeah.
I mean, why is this a big deal?
I just want to have that option.
I can't lie on the federal form. And you wonder why you're not free.
Right. Gosh.
I don't know if I should be on the internet at night.
Oh. Every Saturday morning I say that.
Oh yeah. Like,
apparently I did karaoke.
I don't even drink.
The other day.
It's just the day has built up and like getting that rage out. Yeah.
Right.
This is something I learned a couple years ago, or maybe it was more than that because of COVID years, like really definitely wrecked my whole timeline.
Oh yeah.
But that not every place has like a registration for cars, and you don't have to have inspections in other places. Other states had their own kind of. I just thought it was
you see an Ohio car with like the cellophane door.
Yeah.
And we don't have any inspections in Florida.
Wow. No. Okay. Wow. Okay. So
nice.
Awesome. And ours is due this month, and then Dave was down here doing the registration for our car, I think it was, because it was late. But, you could just be driving down the road and some cop decides to run your thing,
They all do now. They all have cameras here, and they'll just pull up behind you, and they have a camera on the front of their car. Yeah. It scans your plate, runs it, and then they'll decide if they want to pull you over.
And why?
Here's the really fun part.
Oh, my gosh, I love it.
9 to 1. All of that data is getting sucked into some federal database somewhere.
Yep.
So,
it's so
isn't that whole, like, I've heard from people who live in states that have the whole inspection thing that, to a large degree, that's just a big racket that is propped up by the car mechanics, because it's like,
big mechanic. I wouldn't doubt it. Especially if they start like at a local level and you got some bigwig in the local politics, but he also owns a garage and he's like, we can't have these unsafe cars out on our unsafe streets,
right?
Yeah,
because we live in Pennsylvania and our streets are amazing. Like the highest gas tax in the country, and it's those potholes that like make you reevaluate everything.
Oh yeah, they're great.
I'll tell you this, the whole inspection scheme. I've spent a good bit of time in Eastern Kentucky, and the stuff that's on the road there, if they're managing okay, I think we can live perfectly fine with.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I mean, if it breaks down, just move it out of the way, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Be considerate.
I mean, you can do some amazing thing with rubber bands and duct tape.
Oh yeah. Like I said, those Ohio cars, I've seen some stuff.
You've seen some things. Oh gosh, my Audi is very unsafe. I'll agree, but I love it.
Somebody loves Kentucky. Yay!
Oh yeah. Too. Well, I think what it was we drove through Kentucky on the way down.
And it was our very first time.
And we went through Louisville, and I'm not a fan of that little
Louisville,
trip.
Dave, it's Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah, you said it wrong. It's
Louisville.
It's Louisville.
Louisville. We're doing that Taco Bell thing.
Yeah.
But
Taco Bell.
yeah, but we were going over like these overpasses, and it's downpour, and I'm right up against the wall and looking down like 6 stories.
Louisville's bad. You know what they call that whole big mess? They call it Spaghetti Junction.
Okay, yeah, that's what it felt like.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
It's been like I grew up there. I was born in Louisville and lived there when I was like a little kid.
Yeah.
It was a mess then. In the 70s. They haven't fixed it yet. But without government, who would we not have the roads?
Right. That's just it's frustrating. Like today my dad was talking to us a little bit. They came to visit.
I like he's coming around a little bit.
I was really excited. He's like, I saw that Elon Musk guy. And so my dad's like 68. He's not like total boomer, but but he's like, and he said, like the government doesn't have any money. It's our money. And I was like, oh my gosh, Dad. I'm like, okay, breathe, don't try to drown him and everything.
The little something inflation came up, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's like that invisible tax where they devalue the dollar in your pocket.
Yeah.
You don't see them taking it, but they are. And he's like, yeah, and I'm like,
you know what's cool? Here's a little tidbit. Speaking of inflation, Argentina, they just elected a new president.
Oh.
And he's got a plan to tackle Argentinian inflation. You know what it is?
Oh, I'm so afraid.
Print more money?
No, they're going to stop printing money.
Whoa!
What?
There was actually somebody in government that said we're going to stop printing money to stop inflation.
What? Oh my gosh. He's going to get shot.
That's what I said.
Wait, do they have a central bank?
This is not a recommendation to go buy Argentinian bonds. An hour later, he's on the phone with Jerome Powell. You know that printing money does not cause inflation.
No, it's all what's transitory. Everything's transitory. Man, I love
Putin's fault.
I love the redefinitions of all the words. Like everything's.
I saw the other day that they redefined the definition of definition.
Oh, I saw that too.
No, that's a joke, right?
No.
What?
Because now
The new
it's not a
definition
solid
of
thing.
definition, it's to talk about how definitions are fluid.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everything's
shut
fluid.
up.
Everything's fluid.
What?
When you want to control speech, everything's got to be real fluid.
Oh my gosh. So I get the emails from Connor Boyack, Tuttle Twins, that kind of stuff, and he was just talking about that, the redefining of things. Yeah. And I'm reading it like first thing in the morning, I'm like, why
no, you don't want to start your day.
Like throw my phone down on the ground.
Leave that to Mike.
I was just like, oh, that they are changing so many definitions, and Wikipedia actually locked out one
recession?
of them. It was recession.
Yeah, because it changed like 20 times in like one day.
And they're just like, okay, and this is what it is now. Right. And it's nothing like what it actually is. Of course, it's more comforting and allowing and but definition is not a definition anymore. I am appalled.
Definition by definition is not a definition.
Yeah.
I like
the one to me that is extremely poignant of how this matters is the definition of inflation. Because they've successfully made everybody think that inflation is just rising prices. Well, you can blame rising prices on everything, right?
Sure.
I mean,
evil capitalism mostly.
Right, yeah, greedy corporations, Putin's price hikes, supply chains, coronavirus, voodoo,
Yeah,
I
sure.
was wondering why we didn't thank Putin for this recent drop in gas prices. I mean, that was nice of him.
No, okay, hold that thought.
Yeah, put a pin in that.
Here's the real definition of inflation. If you go to a dictionary in the 1970s and look up inflation, here's what inflation is: an expansion of the money supply that leads to a general rise in prices.
Yep.
So the rise in prices is a symptom of inflation.
The devaluation.
Well, when you
of the
have
dollar,
that actual definition, it's very clear who caused it, right? There's only one person or not one person, but one entity that expands the money supply. So they redefined it, and that way they can point fingers at everybody, out there, and instead of putting the blame on who it should be on, which is Jerome Powell and Donald Trump and Joe Biden.
I like that.
But
got to spread it around.
Right, exactly. But so back to the gas prices. So this irks me too. I saw this today. Biden's running around talking about, we've had 50 days of lowering gas prices. Well, when gas prices were going up, I seem to recall Uncle Joe telling me that I don't have anything to do with gas prices. Oh. And now all of a sudden he's fixed it. It's amazing.
Well, that's what it wasn't his fault it went up. He's doing his best to bring him back down.
Ugh.
He's wandering around right now trying to find his depends.
I saw I think it was Chris Spangle posted something, and it was about the gas prices, and it was like the gaslighting and how everybody's like, now they think like, oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you for bringing the prices down,
Right.
and it's like
that whole thing. It's like where you're hitting yourself in the head with a hammer, and it feels so good when you stop.
Yeah. Yep. It really is. It's so sad. Oh.
Well, and the other thing that's sad is how everything is this Republican, Democrat, partisan, and, oh no, Biden caused inflation. No, Trump caused inflation. No, both those fuckers caused inflation.
This is a team effort.
Yeah, it's not just one person, Where did it go? Where did it start going?
It was the trillions of dollars that they sent out.
Alexander Hamilton.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I was a little late. Okay.
I mean, seriously, that's where your central banking came from.
Yeah.
And James Madison and Thomas Jefferson and those folks, they did their best to try to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Once that precedent was set, and it was 7 years after the Constitution was ratified, and that's everything went off the rails. That's where you got this whole, and then of course, when we had the war between the states, then Lincoln really cemented the Hamiltonian plan, and now basically we have the one nation. It's interesting. I've been doing a lot of reading over the last, several months, kind of going back into the Revolutionary era and even the pre-Revolutionary era. And when you look at one of the biggest things that the founding generation was worried about was consolidation, which is their term for centralizing government. They called it consolidation. And Patrick Henry, I think, put it best. He said, consolidation will end with the destruction of your liberties.
Yep.
And they warned about this over and over again, and yet here we are. And I think when you look at the things that they said would happen, it turns out they were absolutely correct.
Yep.
And it's frustrating because I see a lot of libertarians, especially kind of this whole post-libertarian thing, where we're going to centralize more and we're going to impose liberty. No, you're not.
Oh,
wow!
It's not gonna work.
You're going to be free whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
We've got the people running with it. Literally, I've heard this term. We need a red Caesar, which is your.
I didn't know this existed.
Oh, you didn't know this?
Oh,
yeah,
man.
the red Caesar, and kind of the poster boy for red Caesar right now is DeSantis.
Oh.
Because everybody loves DeSantis because he was good on COVID.
Yeah. He was less tyrannical.
Yeah, well, none of those people that are running around talking about how great he was on COVID sat in his fucking checkpoint.
Oh.
They had a border. Florida had a border checkpoint. I figured out how to get around it.
Oh.
Yay!
I remember when I went to New York for liquor, I was afraid I was going to run into some Gestapo.
Yep.
Like,
oh, I know, because they
like taking back roads. I'm like,
they were like, okay, everything's closing down. We're closing the schools and the liquor stores.
Yeah, so
and
you're
we're like
locking us in our house with our kids with no alcohol.
Right?
No alcohol. Yeah.
Wait a second.
So here's an interesting thing.
Road trip.
Talking about how great DeSantis is. And there's no doubt DeSantis was less bad than most.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's a fact. But the fact of the matter is, so at the time I was living up in Northeast Florida, we were about 10 miles from the Georgia border. And Georgia actually opened up before Florida. So
oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm a member of Anytime Fitness, and if you're a member of Anytime Fitness, you can go to Anytime Fitness.
Okay.
So when Georgia opened, I could go 10 miles to the one in St. Mary's and work out while my gym in Yulee was still closed. So that's how I got caught up in the whole checkpoint thing, because the first time I was coming back, there's this COVID checkpoint, and I'm like, what the hell is that?
What the hell is a COVID checkpoint?
That is
anyway?
dystopian. Holy cow.
What
they were running. Everybody had to go through. They used the Welcome Center. And they routed everybody off the interstate through the Welcome Center. And basically what they were doing is they were pulling out people from New York, New Jersey, and I think there was another
states.
And then you had to quarantine or whatever it was that they did.
Gosh.
I'm like, I'm not sitting through this again. I figured out you could go on US 17 and get around the whole thing. I could get home without having to deal with that. But yeah, so I had to go to the gym in Georgia. That's how great DeSantis was.
Okay, so yeah, he wasn't as great as everybody.
Yeah, and he's a politician. I think he figured out that he could make hay out of it. And
sure.
Which way's the wind blowing?
Yep.
And again, I mean, I'll give him credit where credit's due. He was less bad, particularly when we had the second wave. We didn't have to deal with as much crap there. But he's a drug warrior, and he's an authoritarian. And I'm certain that when he gets into national politics, he's going to be, trying to bomb Iran or
same shit.
Whoever the boogeyman is. So I don't know. I can't buy into the whole notion that we're going to have some type of political savior.
Yeah.
And that somehow if we can just get them to have the power. Now the power is the problem,
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get the second coming of Trump, and everything will be cleared up this time. He didn't do anything last time. I don't know, but
is he running again?
I got an email. I got to read this to you. Hold on a second. I'm gonna pull up an email.
Yeah, that's no
You'll
problem.
get a kick out of this. Let's see.
Let's say hi to Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
Lyle.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, everybody who's popped in here. Yep.
Everybody new.
Here it is. I really like to read your podcast and things.
Oh.
Okay.
Will we get silver and gold back as our money, as Trump taught us?
Wow.
Trump taught us that?
Yes, apparently.
Hold on. Somebody give me a hard copy of this podcast. I want to really dig into this.
Have a great day, Ryan.
Wow.
So there's your Trump supporter. That's how delusional.
Wow.
Just trust the plan, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't do it the first 4 years.
No, but this.
My God, if he gets 4 more, then we're gonna repeal and replace Obamacare. I promise.
That list of arrested celebrities is going to be real.
Oh my gosh.
Here's a fun Trump fact for the Trump people. They're like, "Oh, Trump's going to protect our Second Amendment." His ATF enforcement was actually every single year bigger than anything that Obama did. Trump was worse on guns in actual policy than Obama.
Yep.
Wow.
ATF enforcement.
All right.
He actually implemented gun control with the bump stock ban. So he was worse than Obama. Everybody's like, oh, he's going to protect our Second Amendment.
No, he's going to fold just like everybody else does.
Yeah. I have a question for you about, I mean, you know, they're going to elect one or the other, you know, Democrat or Republican.
This one's going to play out interesting. It's fun. It's like watching a sports game. It's like, I'm not really...
Yeah, it is.
I'm not saying
You want me to give you? Would you like my election, my pre-election prediction?
Yeah, because
I've made this prediction every year that I've been involved in this type of work.
Okay.
And I've been right every single time.
Oh my gosh!
And I guarantee you, I will be right again.
Put your money on it.
No matter who's elected, at the end of their 4-year terms, the U.S. government will be deeper in debt.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. government will be more powerful,
Oh,
and your liberties will be smaller.
damn it! You're right.
Okay, I can see the
But
black
remember,
pill
it's
thing.
the most important election of
is.
your lifetime.
No.
Okay. I don't know how far back that has gone, but I remember once I was actually
All the way.
able to vote, I started seeing all that stuff on TV. You know,
Yeah.
it was like the pre-internet, you know,
Right.
and it, you know, if you watched any of the, you know,
Vote or die, motherfucker.
yeah, vote or die, you know, what's his face, P. Diddy, you know, like, so, like, you're just telling people to go out and vote, even though they don't really know what's going on, and the system's, like, broken anyway, like, we got these 2 people out of the, how many millions, how many hundreds of millions of people here, so.
And think about that for a minute. There's 330 million people in the United States, give or take.
Yeah.
And the best they could come up with was Donald Trump
love
and
that.
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. It's like, this is the cream that rose to the top.
Yeah.
What is that? Democracy is like the will of the people or whatever, and they deserve to get it good and hard. Or
Oh,
something.
yeah,
That
yeah. There you go.
Mencken.
There you go.
You know what I just watched? My wife and I just watched this the other day. Idiocracy.
Oh, my gosh.
I love
Was
that
that your
movie.
first time watching it?
It was our first time, and I'm like,
It's
oh
a
my
great
God,
documentary.
What's going to happen?
Tell
Yeah.
me. Oh, my gosh, right?
Like
oh,
right away.
My gosh.
The beginning is just like, yep, yeah,
Yep. Oh, yeah. MTV rocked
But
the vote. Yep. That
It
was
has
one
electrolytes.
I know.
It's
yes.
what plants crave. You're going to put toilet water on
This is sponsored by Carl's Jr. This is sponsored by Carl's Jr.
Trust the science, right?
Yeah, trust the science. Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean the stuff in the toilets?
So much of that movie. Oh my gosh. I think the first time we saw it, I was like, wow, this is kind of weird. And then we watched it within the last couple of years, and I'm like, oh my God, Dave, it's happening. Like,
I know.
Baiting.
really? Yeah, like, it is.
Anyway.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. It is. It's scary. It is scary. And I think, you know, like you said, you have kids and we have kids.
Yeah.
I don't want to see I don't want to see it like I don't want to I don't want to be having to like live in our basement and like shoot somebody walking through the door. You know what I mean? Like I don't want that to happen.
We're not collapsitarians.
Yeah.
Right. No. No, because I think people that have that mentality, honestly, they don't really fathom
They
how
don't get
bad.
it. Mhm. Yeah.
You know.
It's like,
And
yeah.
And
Here's
it
the
sounds
thing.
good on paper, you know.
Your kids are a little younger than mine. My son is 23 now,
Okay.
or 23. So he's in prime, like, go fight China. You know, that's why I get so kind of uptight about the whole Taiwan thing. And
Yeah.
stuff. I don't want. That's where really the rubber meets the road. I don't
Yeah.
want my son and my daughter going to die for Taiwan.
Hell
Yeah.
no.
Sorry.
Sorry.
You know, I've got a nephew that's going in the army. God rest his soul. You know.
I
It's
will
like if you-
sympathize, but I am not going to send my children over there to fight some government, you know.
Nothing to do with us.
Nothing.
Right.
Absolutely
Right.
zero.
It's like a
And
few
I don't know
generations
how-
ago, our forefathers, died to do what they did, and now it's Taiwan's turn.
Yeah. Sorry.
Godspeed.
Yes. It'll be
Well,
okay.
that's kind of an interesting thing. That's another thing that I've thought about a lot. You know, you think about everybody's like, oh, the American Revolution. God, it was so great. We got our freedom, right? Would it be any different today if we were still under England? Really?
Ah,
Maybe we slowed down the progress a little.
I mean,
Maybe.
Knocked it back a few decades.
I mean,
But it just kept chugging
here's the
along.
Interesting,
but,
again,
no, I think you're
read
right.
a
You're
lot of-
right. Yeah.
I read a lot of founders, and I have a great deal. They took a huge leap politically in terms of political thought, starting with Locke and others who were writing, and then the way they evolved it, and the whole idea that the government's not in charge of us, we're in charge of the government.
Yeah,
that was a big shift in thinking.
Insane,
People don't realize how radical that was at the time. And then you read some stuff like that, some letters that Jefferson wrote, and he was even starting to think, maybe we can't have a constitution that binds the next generation. It's like they were almost there,
Yeah.
And then something happened. I don't know what it is, but so they were brilliant, but their war really just replaced one violent, oppressive system with another. And like I said, it went off the rails fast. I mean, you had in 1798, you had the Alien and Sedition Acts, where they were arresting people for political speech.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
what?
I missed that one.
Oh, you didn't know that? Okay,
I didn't.
Because that outrages me today.
Yes.
Right. So, 1798, you had Adams was president, John Adams, and you had there were already parties. You had the Federalist Party, which were the Hamiltonians, Washington, and then you had the Democrat Republicans, which was basically Jefferson, Madison, a lot of the Virginia, more southern things or states. And one of the big issues was, are we going to back England or France, right? And the Democrat Republicans were more sympathetic to the French, and the Federalists were more sympathetic to the British, and they were fighting over there. And so the Federalists were like, oh, we can't have these French people here. And so they basically passed 4 laws, Alien and Sedition Act. There were actually 4 of them. 3 of them had to do with immigration. And basically what it was designed to do is to keep French people from voting.
That's reasonable.
And then they passed the Sedition Act. And the Sedition Act made it illegal for you to criticize or to bring into ill repute the president, Congress, and I think the courts. They only left one office out, the vice president. You were allowed to criticize the vice president.
Screw that guy.
That was Thomas Jefferson. He was in the other party.
I
kid you not. That's how.
Oh my gosh, we've been doing this for so long.
Oh my gosh.
So here's the crazy, and it was obviously, it's like, think about it. How do you run for office if you can't criticize the dude in office?
Yeah.
And you might think, well, it was just something on paper. No, they arrested a lot of people. I think it was like some 60 people were prosecuted for violating the Sedition Act. And a lot of them happened to be editors of papers that were opposition papers.
It's definitely more than 0. It doesn't feel like a lot, but that just means it's very directed.
So my favorite was, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I want to say his last name was Nicholas, but he was a representative in, I think it was New Hampshire. And he said some mean things about President Adams. So they arrested him. They threw him in jail and convicted him under the Sedition Act. Dude ran for his seat again in jail and won.
That's some mafia stuff right there.
So that was the whole, whole thing. That's where the Alien and Sedition Act is where you get the Kentucky and Virginia resolutions of 1798, which were written by Madison and Jefferson, which outlined this whole thing, nullification, saying that the states had the final authority and could nullify unconstitutional acts. That was written in response to the Alien and Sedition Acts. So there you go.
How did you get into history? Like, what sparked, or
was it political,
it always,
or did you start as,
or just as a kid, like, oh, this is interesting, or
where
did it come from?
Let's just be real. I'm a nerd.
That's okay. Nerds are cool.
Nerds run the world.
So kind of my political journey. I was one of these people. I was kind of your standard neocon. I voted for George Bush.
I know. Me too.
And I was a big Rush Limbaugh guy, and I had my whole religious right thing. So that's kind of where I was. Okay. But I had some good instincts, right? Like I think a lot of Republicans, a lot of people on the right have good instincts in terms of, I believe in limited government, right? And I knew that there was this thing called the 10th Amendment and I knew that the federal government was doing a lot of stuff it really wasn't supposed to. So when everybody started getting all riled up in the Tea Party, I went to some Tea Party stuff, and I'm like, if I'm going to really be involved in this. Standing in a park holding a sign is kind of stupid. Not gonna do anything. I started looking for some place that I could kind of get plugged in and involved. So I found the 10th Amendment Center. And, little did I know what I was really getting into, because I thought they were just conservatives, right? And, so I signed up to volunteer, and Michael Bolden pretty quickly figured out I could write. And he's like, why don't you be the national communications director? I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do that.
Yeah,
that's a pretty cool title too.
I started reading, and then Bolden gave me a few things to read. The Kentucky and Virginia resolutions being one thing that everybody should go read them. Just Google Kentucky and Virginia resolutions of 1798, and you can pull them up and read them. And they're not that long; it'll take you 20, 30 minutes. I'll never forget. I was sitting on the sofa. I printed them out because I'm a nerd. I like paper.
I love paper. I love paper.
I'm sitting here reading these documents that are written by Thomas freaking Jefferson and James Madison, right? And I mean, it's not like some hacks wrote this stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And I turn around and look at my wife, and I'm like, how is it that nobody ever taught me this?
Is that weird?
And so then you start going down the wormhole, and then I started really studying the Constitution and reading the founders, and then the next thing I know, I'm reading Rothbard, and
it's all.
it's all. I tell people all the time that there's a lot of people in our community, particularly people who are hardcore anarchists or completely anti-state, and they're like, "Why are you doing this Constitution stuff? The Constitution's stupid." And I tell them it's gateway drug. Gateway drug to liberty, man.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a slippery slope.
Slippery slope for sure.
Yeah. So that's how I got into it, though. Yeah. And it is fascinating. I mean, when you really get down to, I love political philosophy. It fascinates me, and like I said, I have a great deal of respect for the founders because of where they came from and where they got to in a relatively short amount of time, and then somehow we've regressed to this.
Yep. Do you think is there a way out, or
he's black-pilled.
I'm black-pilled. I don't know. Honest answer, I don't know. I obviously I have some hope, or I wouldn't just quit.
Yeah, you're working pretty hard.
Yeah. So I think it's important. I think at some point, I said this earlier, I think the empire is going to collapse. And what that's going to look like, I don't know. I could picture the U.S. being like England is today. England was the world empire at one time. Yeah. I could see the U.S. being like that. We're still relevant, but we're not.
Yeah.
Maybe we're sharing power with somebody else. But
we still have a seat at the table.
At some point, the thing that's going to catch up is the economics. You can't. Yeah. You can only skirt the laws of economics for so long before the whole thing starts to fall apart. My hope is when we get to that point that there will be enough people with enough good ideas that they can build something back that's better. Because really what it's going to take, in my view, I don't think a violent revolution is going to do it. Because I think if you have a violent revolution, you're going to end up building something on the same foundation as what we have, which is violence, force, and coercion.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot of hope. I mean, you might be able to stave things off, and might come to that. I don't know, but I don't think that would solve the problems. You have to have a change of thought. You go back to John Adams. It's really interesting when he wrote about the revolution. He said that the real revolution actually happened long before the war. And he said it was a revolution of thought. It was a change in the way that people thought about government, the way they thought about their relationship with authority. And instead of this idea that the king is sovereign or that parliament makes the rules, people started to think, no, government is created for us, and it's there to protect our rights. Now, we can say today, in hindsight, well, it doesn't do a very good job of that. But at the time, for them to say that was very radical, very big change of thinking. That's the real revolution. We need that same kind of revolution in thought today, where people start to realize that we don't need Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump, directing our actions. We don't need that anymore. And until people start to realize that, then we're going to be stuck in this paradigm. And where we are today is everybody's fighting for the power. It's like you've got all the people on the right, and they just want to own the libs, and you've got the left, and they want to impose this and impose that, and nobody's is awake enough to look around and say, these people are fucking all of us over.
Yeah. Right.
And maybe maybe there is some is some optimism, because I think more people realize that today than did 10 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, I really do hope so.
That commercial, it's like, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Yeah.
It's like,
I do think that COVID was a big wake-up call for a lot of people.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people that maybe aren't that politically awake started to see that, wait a minute, this is dumb, right? I mean, like when you see the guys on the foot, this is something that just was really stark to me. And I know people who are not politically aware at all that have told me that was really stupid. When you have football players standing on the sidelines wearing masks, and then they go out in the field and they bang into each other without masks on.
Face to
Everybody's
face.
like, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense.
This feels like theater.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
So, I don't know. So there's my white pill moment. But I don't know. I think it's going to take, I think change will come out of a crucible of pain.
Sure.
And, unfortunately, I think it's going to be, my kids that are going to be left trying to clean up all this mess.
Yeah.
But at least they'll know we tried.
I know. Oh,
Yeah.
man. And I just think, and it always gives me hope. I remember that we were once statists. We were once those folks
we
who
voted for Bush.
watched the news. I would
Because
get up.
it was important that whoever the other guy at the moment was, it was really important at the time. I can't remember who was running against him, but he can't win.
And Dave he would get up, we'd watch the news, he'd go to work. Good Morning America. I'm like, what's going on? Yeah. Like, I need to know what's happening, read the newspaper. I stopped doing that even before I changed, my thoughts and feelings on all of that, just because it was really depressing, and I just was like, I don't know that I can really handle that anymore. Like, I don't know, it makes me irritated. And then Dave found Ron Paul.
Yep, that was I was freebasing Ron Paul. That was my slippery slope. Just
I think that was it was for a lot of people. So I was, when Ron Paul was really at his apex, I was one of those. Yeah, I like that Ron Paul guy, except for his foreign policy.
Okay,
I don't want to be an isolationist.
Because that's what, like, some of my friends or family would say, like, but he's an isolationist.
My favorite one is...
Now I'm like, please, God, let's be isolationists. This sounds like a great idea.
My favorite was, he's too old. He's too old to be president.
Yeah, but he's too old, like...
dude can still ride a bike.
I know, right? Like, do we see
I'm just going to bring this up real quick.
This guy here, I don't know if you can see.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Come on. Tell me Ron Paul isn't okay to...
End quote, repeat line.
It just came up.
Right?
Elijah said it at the exact same time as you.
Oh, Derek's here. Hi, Derek.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. So I don't... It's like they just didn't want to... They just didn't want him.
No,
but,
yeah.
They just had to find a reason.
Thing. I mean, think about the programming that it requires. I mean, it's a miracle that any of us ever get out of the programming. I mean, you start from the time you're in kindergarten. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Oh my gosh, I was just going to say, remember when you had to stand up? And you had to stand up. And now, can I ask you a question? If you're anywhere that is happening, do you stand?
What do you
you sit? Do you not? Do you just kind of?
Because I go to a lot of Boy Scout functions with my kids.
Our kids are scouts,
and I'm like, it's like
I stand with my hands in my pocket.
Yeah. I'm like, I have to tie my shoe. This sandal is really loose,
Yeah.
And then, like, our kids,
I remember we were
yeah.
my wife and I were at a Tampa Bay Lightning game earlier this year.
Yep.
And they do the national anthem, and they had this huge flag that they had. It was on the other side of the arena, but kind of passing it along.
Yep.
My wife's like, "Oh, please don't let the sky cloth get over here." I'm not touching the sky cloth.
I don't want to.
Well, then it's not going to freedom. You're going to ruin it for everybody.
Everyone has
freedom if we don't.
Everyone
sing
has
the
to touch
song,
it,
man.
Or it can't freedom. I used to get like goosebumps, like listening to that song, being sung before games, and I was like, I mean, I never.
Well, it is
like,
a spiritual thing because it's a religion. So
Right.
it's like
It is absolutely.
When you're in the church and you sing the hymns
Yep.
and you recite the
I never did
scriptures.
the, everybody has to stand up and put your hand over your heart thing or whatever, but I was always like, I like this.
I remember I had the one kid in my
song.
class who wouldn't do it. He got in trouble, and I remember he'd always put the A's on his notebook with the circle around it, and he's doing all this
gosh.
stuff. And it's like I thought of this
already
kid.
based.
I know, and I'm like, now I'm an adult. I'm like, I wonder what his parents were like.
Yeah,
because he learned that somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like,
But what people get and they get yelled at, intimidated, they get beat up for not standing for the piece of fabric, So what is the flag?
well, for everybody, it's tribalism. It's their tribe. It's their team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
It
people
is.
died for that, and I'm like, did anyone really though? I mean, did anybody actually? Was there ever a war that was really actually where? I'm honestly
Well,
curious.
yeah, they
was
did
there,
stuff where people would get
Okay.
shot and the other person would pick up the flag. It was a big thing.
Oh yeah. you hear
But I
those
mean,
stories.
but it was like,
the whole Iwo Jima thing, the famous fire
Yeah.
up in the mountain.
so it's really just kind of this whole indoctrination. Your nation is,
And here I'll be honest with you. I mean, my grandfather, he went into the army. We actually went into the National Guard when he was 16. He lied to get in.
to get in.
He fought in World War II. He fought in Vietnam, so he was in the army. He was career army. He's one of the 300 people in the entire history of the army who has 3 combat infantry badges. So so there's still that part of me that I really respected my grandfather. He was probably the strongest male influence in my life, and so there's still that part of me. It's like I can't quite bring myself to where some people are like, oh, all the troops are killing,
Yeah, that's a bit much.
They're awful
Yep.
people. I mean, I get it, and I still, I still like military hardware. I don't know, F-18s are cool.
For real.
That's something in your genes. It's like, whoa.
And then it's like, what do you do with this? So here's a tough one. I mentioned my nephew's about to go into the army. He leaves about 2 weeks to go to boot camp. And it's just my sister she's a little bit more, her instincts are more lefty, but she's also very she wants to be on her own piece of property and grow her own food, and so she's a lot closer to us than not.
See, I respect that people aren't
devastated.
just aren't black and white, and they can.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is my nephew. I love the kid.
Yeah.
And we've talked to him. We've told him how we feel about it. But that's, he's 18 years old. He's got to make his own decisions, and that stuff's tough. It's like, I worry about what it's going to do to him or how he's going to end up. But
of course,
on the other hand, I'm not going to disown my nephew because as an 18-year-old, he thinks he needs to go in army.
Yep.
He's doing what he thinks is right.
Yep.
Right.
So maybe it's,
you know what, he's probably going over there with good intentions, thinking that I am going to help, and that I feel like that's how they're brainwashed into thinking, it's like you are a helper to your country and your fellow men and women here, and that's.
And then they come back.
And I have family that are in the service, and it's like it's like I never want to say do you oh my gosh, you're just being used, but they really believe that they're doing the right thing, and I'm sorry. It is it's really, really hard. Sherry voluntary,
She don't hold back.
She doesn't hold back. She just comes right out and says things. And I wish I had her balls, but I don't.
I have a lot more sympathy.
But I do. I see where, some of the people are coming from, because they're just, that's their mindset, is that's what
you've been taught.
What I need to do.
Right.
It's
the same with cops.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate cops. I really do. But I'll still, if I see a cop, I'll still say hi.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Still a
I don't
human.
know. I don't want to get to the point where I'm dehumanizing people, because
that's
that is
dangerous.
what they do to us.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I try not to fall into that trap, but.
And a lot of and I'm not, I'm not being sympathetic to cops in a way by saying this, but some of them do get in and think, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna help people.
Protect and serve.
Right. Yeah. And then they kind of get that brainwashy thing going, and
well, and I've told people this before. The problem with policing is institutional, and any organization. I learned this. So I went to business school, and we learned in management that corporations have culture. You have corporate culture.
Yeah.
And people who are working in that, they embrace that and internalize that corporate culture. It's
you have to survive.
Psychology. Yeah. And so you've got this corporate culture that in policing that has been molded by the war on drugs, where the idea is that everybody is our enemy, that we're scared, we have to protect ourselves. They dress them up like army men. They arm them like army men.
Yeah.
And so...
Who's the enemy?
Yeah. And so it has turned protect and serve into command and control. And so... And to some degree, even if you have the good cops, and I know some police officers are fine people, but they are in a culture that is toxic and dangerous. Yeah. So that's the problem. I mean, my view is that if we could solve so many problems in this country if we could just get rid of the damn drug war.
Yep. Oh my gosh, right?
So much comes out of the drug war.
Anyone with half a brain.
Surveillance, militarization of cops, gun control, all of that stuff comes out of the war on drugs. Every time that we start trying to fight gun control, well, we got to get the drug dealers, and they've got guns.
You know how you get them?
Use those gun laws to get the drug dealers.
Yeah.
Defund the drug dealers.
See now I'm getting mad again. Anytime I talk about cops, I get mad.
But it's like you look at prohibition, and it's like, okay, here's the script.
Right?
Here's what happened. Here's the blowback, and here's how we fixed it. It's like we don't have Al Capone because they legalized alcohol. Now they just shifted to the next black market. But so let's let's get rid of the black markets and put these businesses in the hands of honest businessmen.
Right.
Instead
of criminals. And the next big black market's going to be guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see the thing the other day where the guy 3D printed a bunch of guns and turned them in at the gun buyback?
Oh, that's amazing. That's almost better than the wood block with the pipe taped to it.
Oh my gosh, that's
yeah, he turned in like 60 of them at $100 a pop or something.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
That's an entrepreneur there.
Now they won't take. This was in Houston, and now they won't take ghost guns anymore.
No, those are real guns, though. What are you talking about?
Yeah, those are real.
Those are dangerous on our streets. Those are going to get in the hands of criminals, obviously, because they're ghosts. They're just going to travel through walls and go to the criminals.
You can't even see them.
No, yeah.
No.
And a 9mm, that'll blow a hole right through your
head right off.
Right, the size of a. Yeah.
I heard that. I'm thinking, where do you get this 9mm ammo? I want some.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have never experienced that before. This must be special.
Yeah,
I really triggered this gun person once.
Oh, that's fun.
They were talking about those are weapons of war and they're intended to kill people. I'm like, yeah, right. That's why I have them.
The point. Because people are the worst.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of a deer breaking in and raping my family.
Right.
Damn, Bambi.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it's all the trauma Bambi had when his mom, dad died, or mom.
Yeah, that could have went a whole different way. Mom.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Dad was never in the picture.
Can you imagine if Bambi could have an AR?
Yeah. I actually said that.
I saw there's a new gun out apparently, an AK-15.
Ooh. Oh. That seems like a lower number. That's not as dangerous.
We need to get these dangerous AK-15s off the street.
AK-15. Okay, so Roller Girl is from Scotland, and we have talked before. She's come in and chatted with us. She says they do not have guns in Scotland.
Somebody has guns.
How? But do the bad guys have guns? I mean, there's guns. There have to be guns.
Yeah, you can't
around,
uninvent guns.
Yeah.
Especially now.
Well, I mean that's the issue. I mean, if think about how many guns there are in the United States.
Oh, we got a lot of guns.
The whole gun culture thing is a real thing.
Yeah.
There's no way they could get rid of it.
Yeah.
No.
And I'm really
I'm not gonna give mine up.
Yeah.
right. Exactly. That's what I was just gonna say. I'm not like a fanatic about it. I want to say that like this is to protect me and my family in case of anything.
Yeah.
That we're to come in our space and try to harm us. I want to have that option. I want to have the option to protect my family.
Right.
Whether it be a person or an
entity,
or like I want to be able to.
You don't know.
Yeah, I want to be able to protect.
These viruses are coming along really quick.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
the robots.
Yeah, robots are. Jeez, the robots.
So I
have some lines in the sand. I'm not going to willingly give up my guns, and I'm not going to get jabbed with the whatever version of the COVID vaccine.
Yeah, and I'm not even like conspiracy about that. It's my libertarian nature where it's like, oh, you're telling me I have to. Like I thought about it. I looked into it. I'm like, maybe this is good. Maybe this will subdue the symptoms. Maybe we'll look into what's the best one, which has the least side effects. And then they're like, you have to keep your job. And I'm like, well.
I what?
Yeah.
Dave's like, that's
it's
that.
Like, It's like I was looking into it.
Isn't there a certain sense that when they really when
Here,
somebody
that's
starts telling you have to do something, I get really suspicious. Like what's the motive here?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you make conspiracy theories by saying you have to. Like why? Why do I have to?
Yeah. So
I suggest anybody who really wants to dig into the whole thing, read RFK's book. And I'm not, you take RFK with a grain of salt. He's been anti-vax for decades. And I'm not really anti-vax. In the big
not at all.
Yeah.
But if you actually read, it's very well documented, and he's got a lot of the documentation from the trials and a lot of really interesting studies and testimony from doctors about the effects of this vaccine on your immunity. And the things that I've read in that book have played out in real life. And the whole thing, one of the things that just really struck me is that when you get vaccinated, it boosts your immunity to that very specific thing.
Yeah.
And then it basically cracks on the rest of your immune system.
Oh,
and so that's why when you see these variants coming out, that you're getting situations where the people that are vaccinated and boosted are actually getting sicker because their immune system is wrecked because of the way and you basically condemn yourself to having to be vaccinated forever because of the way the efficacy falls off.
Well, that's what they want.
Wow. Yeah.
And I don't think it's like they're like Bill Gates is putting a chip in me. It's all money,
Right.
This is a huge business.
Can you imagine if you own a company and it's like I can have customers for life?
Yeah. And every American is mandated to buy my product.
Right. You don't even need conspiracy theory for that.
No, that's smart business, and it's
playing the mud. I love dirt. Dirt.
You know what's funny is that the left, who are usually the people that are like, oh, evil corporations, all of a sudden are like, oh, Pfizer saving us.
Yeah, this is big money. This is the worst of the bad capitalists. It's like they've already got the regulatory capture down pat, and then they're using their people to mandate on the entire population. Or you can't eat. You can't go to work.
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, my
Because you need your papers. I remember when that was a thing, like, right when it first started. Dave, did you actually get papers from work?
Well, they were getting ready for the Biden thing, so they wanted everybody to sign a paper saying whether they're vaccinated or not to get ready for whatever step 2 was. And I had a couple friends who were like, I'll just quit. And I'm like, what are you going to do? You're going to go to Taco Bell, make less money, and still have to do this because you're going to start your own business, and eventually they'll get you. Eventually they're going to get you. This is such a frustrating battle.
Yep.
Yeah. Michael Bolton told me I had to get vaxxed, but I told him we're just
Or you work for the 10th Amendment Center.
Yeah.
But and then still, it's like it feels like they'll get you eventually.
Wow, Tanner. Tanner says, hospital I work at, if you get admitted with VID, government gives $13,000 if you get intubated. Government gives $33,000. Gives the hospital $33,000 though. So,
Alan's just finding out about the mandate too.
Oh my gosh! So it is all. It is, yeah. So like you go in and get intubated, and now the thing that freaks me out about COVID, okay, like, is just because a friend of Dave's at work died from it, and I'm just like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
what the actual fuck?
So,
like,
so you guys had it?
A couple
twice,
times, yeah.
that we know of twice, yeah.
Yeah. So here's what since we just moved, we're in the whole doctor shopping process, and I think we actually found one. That was one of the things I actually
hard.
asked in my little interview.
That's hard.
So where are you on the vaccine?
Yeah.
And our doctor said, he said, what you're going to see and what you're seeing now is what happens with pretty much any virus. It starts out really virulent, and then over time it becomes more contagious but less
Deadly.
Severe.
deadly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because really, what's the virus? I mean, I know viruses don't actually think, but what does the virus want to do?
Viruses
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
weird.
Wants
Yeah.
to reproduce.
Yep.
So
Just like me.
killing its host is not an effective way to
I'm not gonna
reproduce.
kill you. Sorry. We're good to that
So
point.
yeah, so he said basically what it's going to evolve to is something similar to the common cold,
Yeah.
where for
Yep.
most people it's a relatively benign illness, and of course, even common colds kill people.
Yeah.
you know.
Sure. Yep.
If you're immune
a lot of
compromised,
people.
if you're old, if you have certain conditions,
Yep.
flu, all of that stuff. So.
Yeah, I listened to a podcast about the 1920 whatever the flu that went through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and like the first round went through and killed like quite a few people, but a lot of people survived it. And then thanks for the follow,
Thanks,
Jack.
Jack.
And then it came back, and that's when it was nasty. And all the people who avoided it and didn't get it the first time, it just decimated them. But the communities where it kind of got hit hard, but people survived the lighter version,
Right.
they had a little immunity, and now I think is that another flu that we just get every year now, which I think COVID
I
will end
feel
up
like-
being.
yeah.
It's just going to be in the flu shot, like.
Yeah.
Which I don't get. Do you get the flu shot, Mike? Do you do flu shots?
I got a flu shot. Oh gosh, probably about 2017, 18.
Okay.
Got the flu that year.
Oh my
I'm doing this
gosh.
again.
Right?
There's so many variants of the
Yes.
flu.
So, like,
Right.
I love my mom and dad. I love them. And it was always just part of what you do. Like, you know, you
Flu
go
shot comes
and get
out,
your
you get the
flu
flu
shot.
shot. Yeah.
You know, you go to your
Right.
doctor, you get your thing, you know. Okay, so I move out. And I think I got it the first year when I was, like, maybe 18 on my own, where I could make my own decision. But then, like, Dave's like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I wasn't adamant about it. I just
No,
I
but
just
he's
don't
just
do
like,
that.
nah,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm-
And then I was actually really okay for, and I haven't gotten one since. Knock on wood. Thank you, God.
Yeah, until now, like I'd only get sick like once every like 3-4 years
Yeah.
or something like that. I'd
Where
catch
he's
something.
like down,
Yeah,
like down,
down for
you
like a
know.
couple days. And
But I stopped. I just stopped, you know.
'cause life's dangerous.
Yeah.
You're gonna die sometime, and
And I remember like when Dave was reading Ron Paul and we were talking about freedom, you know, and I was still like, okay, libertarian, like we still kind of need the little bit of government.
running
you
towards
know?
anarchy.
And Dave is like
Right.
down the slope, you know. And I'm just like asking him questions,
Yeah.
and he's like, you know what, freedom's dangerous, and I'm like, oh my god, it is.
when I'm like, they
And
should
then
sell
I was
heroin
like-
at Walgreens.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I'm just like, oh, it is dangerous freedom though, but you're free. But life is dangerous anyway, you know. So
Exactly.
just,
Government's dangerous, right?
oh, super
And
dangerous.
they both will kill you eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is fun talking to you.
Yeah.
If you have to go,
Yeah, we didn't say a time limit or
I don't
anything.
know what time you have to go.
I have tomorrow off,
You
so
know.
I'll
I don't know. I'll go soon. This is
Okay.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like Mike Unfiltered. Like normally, I do interviews and it's like, well, the nullification of all that. This is way more fun.
Oh, I'm super excited.
That's what we try.
So you talked about like you know, like jobs and the economy and everything recently, like the like where is the United States right now? Like, I mean, are folks good? Are we are we doing all right, or is it still sucky but they're trying to mask it
I
and
saw-
say like
I saw like some kind of post on my browser. They just give random news stories, and something said like there's not enough jobs for people. And
Shut up!
I know,
Are you
right?
kidding me?
I saw something,
Every
and I'm like, I
place
drive by
go.
Taco Bell, and they're like, please work here. Please, we'll give you
there's
$16 an hour.
Begging.
So they just did
please.
they just released they have this thing called the JOLTS report. I can't remember what it stands for, but it's basically number of job openings. And yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, there is.
There's a lot. It's weird. So for people who don't know, I work for Shift Gold. So I do their website. You can go to shiftgold.com/news, and you can check out all of the writing that I do on the Fed and the economy, and check out my Friday Gold Wrap podcast that I do every Friday where I talk about this stuff. So there's my little pitch. Now I can bill Shift Gold for this. No.
Yeah.
No.
Do it.
So here's my view. And I'll try to make it. I'll try to just make it as simple as possible. Obviously, so let's go back to 2018, right? So let's go back to 2008. So we had the Great Recession, right?
Yes.
And during the Great Recession, it's really the first time that we saw them push interest rates all the way to zero and hold them there for a decade.
Yeah, forever. Yeah.
And they also, that was the first real big round of quantitative easing, which is basically the Federal Reserve buying bonds, suppressing interest rates, and blowing up bubbles. Before 2008, the Federal Reserve balance sheet was somewhere in the 800 to 900 billion range. After the Great Recession, so when they got through like 2014, 2015, the Federal Reserve balance sheet was $4 trillion. So they blew it up by $4 trillion through the Great Recession. So what happens when you do all of that? You artificially suppress interest rates, right?
Mm-hmm.
You throw all of this money into the economy. You blow up bubbles. Stock market bubble was the biggest bubble that blew up. We saw it through the Trump years. In 2018, they started trying to really tighten back the monetary policy. They started raising interest rates. They started shrinking the balance sheet. They got the balance sheet all the way down to like 3.75 trillion.
Not bad.
Got it all the way down.
They got interest rates back to 2.5%. And if you remember, the fall of 2018, there was a big stock market crash. And when that happened, and the economy was starting to get shaky, you're starting to see growth numbers and unemployment was going up, all this stuff. And so what did the Federal Reserve do? It stopped raising interest rates. It started cutting interest rates. And it actually restarted quantitative easing even before the pandemic. So I really think that the pandemic in some ways saved the Federal Reserve's bacon, because it allowed them to go all in on quantitative easing and rate cuts because they had the excuse of the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
So you remember I said we were at $4 trillion after the Great Recession. They got it down to like 3.75, so they didn't get it down very far. During the coronavirus pandemic, they blew the balance sheet up to just a hair under $9 trillion. So when I say that, when you see the Fed's balance sheet going up, when they buy all of these bonds, they're creating money out of thin air to do it. So in effect, they've, over the last, since 2008, have effectively injected about $8 trillion into the economy. Wow. So that's why we have these weird bubbles in the stock market. Mm-hmm. That's why we have real estate prices that are out of control.
Yep.
And then, of course, during the pandemic, they threw out stimulus checks. So
that was nice.
Everybody was like, oh, well, they printed all that money after the Great Recession and we didn't have any inflation. Well, yeah, we did have inflation. We had it in the stock market. We had it in real estate. We had it in assets.
My freaking retirement fund.
Yeah. But when they did the stimulus checks, that put all this money in the hands of everybody out there who are sitting at home watching Xbox, spending money on Amazon.
Yep.
So that's, if anybody wants to know why we have price inflation right now, it's because of your damn stimulus checks. Mm-hmm. You're paying the tax in inflation.
Yep. Nothing's free.
Yep.
Okay. So that's
free.
where we are. So we started seeing this, and of course, at first, like, oh no, inflation is transitory. Remember that? Those were good times last year when inflation was transitory. So finally, they had to admit that inflation was a problem, so they started raising interest rates. They've kind of started trying to shrink the balance sheet, but they're not really doing it in any great pace. But right now, interest rates are at 2.5%. Now, you remember where I said that it started to fall apart before? 2.5%. So we've had 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth that we've defined as not a recession now. It's all BS. Basically, where I think we are, we're in a recession. The Fed is tightening monetary policy into a recession, which is going to make the recession worse. We're about to see a huge crash in the economy. Meanwhile, there's still inflation, right? But what's the Fed going to do? This is the $64,000 question. Normally, when the economy tanks, the Fed goes right back to printing money. So if they go back to printing money, when we still have inflation at 8 or 9%, you're risking a significant devaluation of the dollar. If they keep tightening interest rates to fight inflation, you're going to tank the economy worse, which is really what should happen because they need to get all the malinvestments out. So that's a long answer to your simple question. I think we're in the early stages of a recession. I think the labor market's not reflecting that yet because number one, the labor market is a lagging indicator. Number two, after COVID, a lot of people just didn't go back to work. It's interesting. I haven't really looked real deep into the unemployment numbers from today, but I do know that the unemployment rate dropped, and so did the labor participation rate, and yet they added 500,000 jobs. So what does that tell you? It tells me that a lot of people are taking on second jobs in order to make ends meet. Because that's the weird thing about the unemployment numbers. If I have a job now, if I go out and get another job, the Labor Department counts that as 2 jobs. So they've created a job, even though it's me working 2 jobs because I can't make enough money to pay my bills.
Oh,
yeah. So I think you're going to start. If you look at like the weekly unemployment claims, those have been creeping up for the last 4 to 6 weeks. The number of job openings creeped down this last time. So I think you're starting to see it in the labor market. That at the point that the labor market really starts to reflect the recession is the point that the Fed's in big trouble because they're not going to be able to say, well, it can't be a recession because the labor market's good.
They're not going to be able to can't redefine it any further.
Where did that lady? It was she had to backpedal on her
So the simple answer is as far as the economy goes, we're fucked.
The simple, true answer.
Buckle up.
So this is what I think. This is what I think.
I like that. I like that.
I think that the first sign that we get that inflation is cooling, which remember they're defining inflation as rising prices, which I actually think will be in the July numbers. I think you're going to see a dip in the July numbers because just look at how much gas prices have come down. And that's a big part of your CPI. So I think you'll start to see that. I think what you're going to get is the Fed's going to go, oh, look, we fixed inflation. And then they'll start trying to print money in order to prop the economy back.
No.
That's what I think is going to happen.
No.
I've been seeing stuff.
That's not good.
They're going to send out inflation stimulus checks.
Yes. Well, how about this for some Orwellian gaslighting? We have the Biden Inflation Reduction Act.
Oh,
the government's going to spend a bunch of money on green energy and a bunch of other bullshit and say that's going to fix inflation.
That'll do it.
Oh my God. Where? What?
Yeah, that's a thing.
I'm like, are these...
I'm not a smart man.
I know, right?
But this doesn't.
So here's a tip for all the kids out there. If you ever want to know what a bill is going to do, look at the title of the bill, and it's going to do the exact opposite.
Yeah. Oh,
so the Inflation Reduction Act is going to increase inflation. The Patriot Act is not going to be patriotic.
No. Nope.
If it says Tax Reduction Act, your taxes are going up.
Yep.
Yeah, and then so 2,600 pages of bullshit in that act. So how are there so many words on so many pieces
but they read them
of
all.
paper?
They know what they're voting for.
They do not read it. They do not. No. What is this? What is this nonsense?
and it's what they do is that there's all this unrelated stuff that they stick into it because they know that they can hide stuff in there and pass it, and nobody will know.
Yep.
Because they just stick it in. I read a lot of state bills, and state bills aren't as bad. I mean, they.
Is it dry? Is it dry reading? I feel like
pages, but...
I don't know that I could read that and understand all the gobbledygook. I have a hard time reading.
For 10 years.
Okay, I have a hard time reading the terms of service.
You don't read those.
This is.
But you know what it is that I've learned certain subjects. So like, I'm really good at reading bills that relate to surveillance. Stuff that TAC does, asset forfeiture.
Yeah.
Because you learn the verbiage, and I'm pretty good at spotting like where they're trying to.
Okay.
Pull one over.
So you know the verbiage.
This
okay.
sucks,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's part of why Bolden pays me the big bucks.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
This useless skill.
You guys are getting paid? No.
I've joked before if I had stuck on the conservative, I probably could have made a lot of money as a conservative pundit or.
Mm-hmm.
Oh right. But you're doing the Lord's work here. You're out there.
This is meaning over money.
This is meaning over money. Absolutely.
Yeah. I can't complain. I got to go sit on the beach today, so
good.
Nobody needs to feel sorry for Mike.
No.
I'm so glad. I'm happy. That was I lurk a lot on Facebook, so like sometimes I'll see pictures and I smile and I'm like, oh, that's so nice, but I don't react because I'm like, what if I hit the wrong button? And I'm so I'm just like. I just like scroll.
That's why I call her Whiskers.
Yeah. But you got a lot of good stuff. I have to ask about the saxophone real quick, and then sports ball because Alan said we cannot let you go.
Oh, okay.
Because Dave will be fired from his non-paid job as the producer of It's Too Late.
That would be awful.
I'd have to go herd goats.
We're gonna have a goat farm. Dave's gonna go to the farm. The saxophone. Now, did you purchase that, or is that something that's been passed down in your family?
No, I purchased it. So I now have the full family. So I bought a tenor saxophone.
Oh my!
I already have an alto and a soprano.
Oh my gosh! And you?
So you play?
I'm assuming you play, or you just appreciate their beauty.
No, I play. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, dude. Okay.
All right,
so
you have to play now. No, I'm kidding.
I would love to hear you play. If you ever are gonna do go do a Facebook Live thing, or you're somewhere bring it to the next event. I want to hear it.
I've got a project in mind that I want to do. So,
that's
and
neat.
if people are really interested in such things, if you go to my website, michaelmaharrey.com, there actually is a link you can click for Mike's music, and I've got some stuff that's up on. So
that's right, Keith.
I'm like, I saw that. So I'm like, my musical tastes are pretty much stuck in the 80s.
Love the 80s. I love the 80s.
Yeah. So I was the new wave punk goth kid.
Oh.
And
okay.
So I'm into like a lot of electronic music and stuff. So that's really my influence. But I play saxophone, so I'm trying to figure out how to put saxophone into that.
Yep.
So deep house is kind of the. So anyway, that's what I'm working on.
Awesome. Oh man. See. Okay. Now, I mean. Can you read music, or do you just play as is, or like learn it, or do you read the music?
I started playing sax when I was in 4th grade, so I went all the way through. I was the band geek in high school, so I can read saxophone music.
Okay.
But I taught myself to play guitar and keyboards and bass, and I don't I can kind of read piano music, but when you start stacking notes on top of each other, it can a little bit. I'm really more of an intuitive by ear musician, but I can read saxophone music. If you put a piece of saxophone music in front of me, I can read it.
Yeah.
Flock of
do better if I hear it.
That's how our son is. He just goes by feel. He has this natural thing that I'm like, I do not have that. I wish I had it. Like he can sit. There's a drum set back here behind. Guitar. He wants all the instruments. Yeah. He has a ton of different things.
Yeah, we talked a little bit at Alan's thing.
And he
definitely, you could tell he's got the.
Yeah, and it's so we bought him this little drum set when he was 4, And he was actually making pretty decent music. And then he got a bigger drum set when he was, a little bit older. And never have I ever honestly thought like, oh gosh, I wish he'd stop. I'm like, I wish he'd keep going. This is so good. Like that is really, that's good. And he plays, he has this ability, and I am super jelly. But I'm happy for him. That's really,
if I could do anything, that's what I'd be an NHL hockey player, but obviously
Oh,
but
you never know.
Yeah, I did music for 10 years. My ex-wife and I did. I don't know if you can call it a band because it was just the two of us, but
that's a band.
Is that the flock of cats?
Oh, that's cool. That's you told me in Tennessee that you used to have long hair. And you were in a band, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
I've still got the earrings.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
there
yeah.
you go.
Yep.
And so
yeah, and I do. I really I've got an idea for a musical project that I really want to put together. It's the last year. A lot of people know this. A lot of people don't know me know this. But my mom passed away last fall, and then we bought a house, and so it's just like been a complete year of chaos.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I really feel like I'm just now coming out of a tunnel where I feel like I can expend energy in places other than just the work that I have to do to get paid and renovating a house.
Yeah. I can't imagine, honest to goodness, like just all of that is a lot.
It was a lot for sure.
And like I said, I'm a lurker. So I saw what was happening.
You've seen the house progress.
Yeah, yep. Yeah. And I really love what's going on here with your bookshelves and the print behind you that you have.
My office is awesome. I love it. I'm in the very front of the house, so like over here are windows that look right outside, so I get a lot of natural light. It's a little bit bigger than the office that I had in Kentucky. So I really like it.
Yeah.
I don't have as much the way I set my desk. My desk was against the wall in my other place, and there was a little bit more space as far as like music stuff. I haven't really figured out how to set all that up.
Yeah, yep. I know, same here. Like, I mean, we have a small house with a lot of people in it, and we're trying to figure out, Yeah, Dave wants to see all your books.
I kind of zoomed out.
And we're just trying to figure out, like, okay, so, like, here's, like, our LLN area, but then there's, like, we have to have, like, the
music area. We got the weight room, the workshop, laundry,
washer, dryer. Like so. I'm like, can we just get rid of stuff and then it'll be better? But I think we just need a little bit more space. A little bit more space.
My mother-in-law lives with us now, so that we're not cramped in any stretch of the imagination.
Good. Okay.
At some point, we will have actually a whole extra room. So
nice.
Someday that might be a music studio.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I want to ask because Alan said it, and I also
want to say Godarchy's back. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, do it. Go ahead, say that.
Because
we'll talk about
I was following that a lot, and I know you took a break from that, and then I didn't see your posts until I was lurking on your page just to prep for the show and stuff like that. That you are making episodes again. And I love that podcast. That's great.
Yeah.
So I need to get that back in my podcast rotation.
Mm-hmm.
After I've F-bombed numerous times, I'm not sure I should talk about Godarchy.
You can. It's okay.
If people are interested, I call it kind of the intersection between voluntarism, anarchism, and Christian faith.
Oh, that's a great.
Got a podcast. I really started the whole thing. I actually started the website back in 2016, and a lot of it was just this motivation to be some kind of anti-war voice in Christian circles because there's so many freaking Christian warmongers that it's just frustrating. And then it kind of evolved, and I did a podcast. I did probably 80 some episodes, and so I put it when my mom got sick. I kind of put it on hiatus.
Sure.
I really debated about whether or not I was going to do it again. If you really want to hear the whole story, you can go actually listen to the first episode. I go through this whole thing, but
I got to do that.
And I started writing a little bit there. I did a couple of. I did a really good post that nobody read. Just, Facebook algorithms.
Yeah.
Godarchy.
I was battling those today.
Just talking about my my problem with the gang. I have this violent gang that runs my neighborhood, and
Was that a real thing? Because I saw the tag on the wall.
Yep. But again,
well, I guess I don't want to spoil it either because I am going to listen to it.
The violent gang is the government.
Oh, okay. Spoiler.
So just a little analogy.
That's
yeah, I'm starting to do that. The next episode, I'm doing it every other week, and the next episode is going to be with folks may be familiar with Doc Dixon, who is a magician and a libertarian and a Christian, and has the distinction of being one of the few who fooled Penn and Teller.
Well, that's exciting.
That's pretty good.
Doc is great, so he'll be fun. So he's my next episode.
Nice.
And
so go to godarchy.org.
Yeah, I put it up there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's so great. Okay, so I'm really trying to get into listening to things like
it's hard because you have kids pulling on you all day long.
But because the kids interrupt me all the time, I'm like, I'm just gonna do the dishes, and they're like, talking to me. I'm like, I can't hear you. I'm doing the dishes.
Yeah, that's what you have to do though. Just be like.
But I'm gonna try to listen because I need to make that time for myself for that kind of like good stuff going into my head. Personal development. That's right.
And I listen to podcasts like 7 to 12 hours every day. So it's
depends on how long.
So it's weird because I used to be a big podcast person, and the only thing that I listen to anymore is Sports Day Tampa Bay.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
All right, so you go ahead.
I go through like history, ghost stories.
Yeah.
I'm trying to brainwash myself with Jordan Peterson, and then I listen to some Bible stories podcasts.
You listen to the Dangerous History podcast?
No.
CJ Kilman.
Oh.
Highly recommended.
Dangerous
Actually,
History.
I hadn't listened in a while, but CJ's amazing.
Here's a pen, but I have no paper.
Because I really like
history.
what got me started was hardcore history. That Dan, whatever his name is.
So CJ's of our mind, and he comes at history from that.
Oh, that's
it's really interesting because so much history is viewed through one political lens or another.
Yep.
And so, like he can take a topic like the Civil War, and he can hate all of them.
Yes, they're all bad people.
They're all terrible.
So he's great.
What was the name of that again?
The Dangerous History podcast, and he's a history professor. He's really good. So.
All right, yeah, that's going in the loop.
Now,
his episodes are long. That's the.
No, I'm fine with that.
He does hour,
he's
2
at
hour,
work,
3 hour
so.
episodes. And he does big long series. He just started one on World War I propaganda.
Oh, that propaganda? What? Propaganda. I'm serious. Like that is such.
Everybody does it though. There's good propaganda, bad propaganda.
Yeah.
It's all propaganda.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Remember when we watched what was that the marijuana movie?
Oh, Reefer Madness.
Reefer Madness.
Oh God.
We actually sat down and watched that, and it was.
I was like, oh my gosh. Wow, really? And now I am currently trying to talk my mom into I'm like, listen, marijuana is going to help you feel better.
Yeah, I think your mom needs that.
I tell you what. So, I'm pretty. I was the straight and narrow. I don't drink. Well, I'll have a beer now and then.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I started taking. I've pretty bad arthritis in my hip, and I'm 55 and I'm still trying to play goalie.
That's insane.
And
That's
it hurts.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it hurts. I think it's awesome.
I started
to do
taking CBD several years ago, which really does help because there's a lot of anti-inflammatory properties. And I was able with the CBD at that point to pretty much wean myself off of ibuprofen and Aleve and all of that stuff.
Right.
Then I was out in LA with Michael Bolton. We went to the weed store.
Oh my.
And I got it's pretty low dose. It was like 4 to 1. So 4 THC to 1 CBD.
Yeah.
And I took that and I was having some problems with the hip. We'd walked a bunch. And I slept like a rock and I woke up the next day and it didn't hurt. I'm like, dude.
Right?
Yeah.
So for a while, well, let's just say I was getting, because I was in Kentucky, you can't have it there. And as soon as I got down here, I got a medical marijuana card.
Yeah.
And it's a lifesaver for me.
Yep.
And it's not like I like to get high. I really don't like a whole bunch of it. I don't like the way it makes me feel particularly.
Yeah.
But just enough of it puts me to sleep.
Yep.
And with the anti-inflammatory properties in the CBD, somehow that works together. And I can play hockey and get up the next morning and feel basically like any 55-year-old would feel
Yeah.
after playing hockey.
Yep.
But I have bone
Reason.
arthritis, so really I
Oh.
playing hockey. You know?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
I feel like
So
I have to
that-
promote
I'm
Pat Chris
particularly
Mechanicals.
Yeah.
sensitive to the drug warriors because it's like, who are you to tell me that I can't have something that makes
Yep.
me not hurt?
Yep.
Right.
So yeah, so I mean, you know, and some folks here might know or not know, but Alan,
Oh,
has
and he's a friend of ours too.
yeah, Alan.
No, but
Michael, yeah, yep. But Pack Crest
is Aaron still here?
Botanicals.
He's got the link.
Pack Crest, PAC, Serious T. Fantastic stuff.
And get 30% off with promo code It's Too Late.
Yeah, and Delta
Nice.
8. Now, I used to just get high all the time.
Yeah.
I used to smoke
yeah.
weed, like brick weed. I used to just roll joints. We just
Blunts,
blunts, all this stuff, you know. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, seriously, it was
Like that was our lifestyle for a while.
This was back in like 2000, you know, and I'm like, how can
Right.
people not be high, man? Like, how can you just like go through your day without like being high, you know? And then I went through some stuff, and then but now like just to like now the stuff is like so potent, you know. I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's all sticky
Right.
and has these red hairs, and there's like all these different strains, so it makes me nervous.
Yeah.
And I'm scared. But the Delta 8, it's like in between CBD and Delta 9, which is
I've got
just
some.
marijuana, you know.
Yeah.
And I love it's GG number 4, and I just boop a little bit at night, and I'm like, you know, just makes my brain stop talking. You know,
It is. It's like mellow.
Makes your brain stop talking. I love that.
Because my mind is just constantly like, let's think about this. Let's worry about this.
Let's-
and what
let's
if
Right.
this? And
drill into
Jane
this.
has a bump on her head all out of nowhere. She said she didn't bump her head today, but now she has a bump. And what is it?
Right.
And why is it still there? And, you know, like, so I'm going to go take some of that.
That's what I liked about
down.
because I'm not very self-aware, but she got the CBD because she wanted to try it, and I had to get the isolate,
Isolate.
no THC
Yeah.
because I can get tested
Work.
at any minute at
Yeah,
work.
Right.
But it's like I'm like it's like the fuck it all without the high, you know. It's just kind of like
Yep.
Yeah.
It just makes you like just whoop, stop thinking about all that stuff. It really is awesome, and it's from the earth. And
wait, plants can't be medicine; it has to be patented.
Right.
well, yeah. But it's amazing, and I'm happy to hear that you have found something to help with that. Because I want to help my mom find something.
Yeah.
You know, like
I mean, I was popping ibuprofen
Yeah.
and naproxen like nobody's
I know.
business. That's
Yep.
not good for you.
No, it
kidneys.
isn't.
Oh yeah.
it is not. I know, because there have been just times where. And it's not from a hangover, you know, that I'm just like, oh, look at this ibuprofen, you know, like my
Yeah.
neck, you
Oh
know.
yeah, you used to
and-
go through a lot.
Yeah,
of
I
it.
get
My wife
stressed,
has neck problems.
you know, so I'm just like, I feel like I'm constantly like this, like my shoulders are up to my ears, and yeah,
Right.
but it really,
You got kids.
yeah, yeah. But it helps. It really, the CBD helps, and the Delta 8 really just kind of, you know, where they're like, can I do this? Can we do this? And I'm like, sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
whatever.
that's fine. Yeah, you know, like it's fine. Well, it's going to
Helps
be
you
a
choose
mess,
your
but
battles.
who cares? You know, like we'll clean it up.
Exactly.
Everything's going to be a mess anyway when you have kids. You know.
Right.
Real quick, sports ball. Now,
Yeah.
okay, so Alan says you guys are bringing it back just in
Oh.
time
We
for
are.
like football.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
I'm pretty
so
excited
probably
about football
September
season.
is what we're
Yeah,
talking.
Okay.
Football.
I like football.
'Cause
I
that's
do
really
think-
that's the sport that, and even I'm a huge hockey guy, but hockey doesn't translate very well to television. So like
Is that what it is?
I've loved football since I was a kid.
Because I love the
football.
concept of hockey. You know, it's like
I do.
It's a great sport. You took me to my first game, and it was like a minor league game. So these kids are teenagers, and we're watching the game, and suddenly everybody stops. They throw off their gloves and they start punching each other. I'm like, they're gonna let these kids fight? like
As long
this
as
is
nobody falls
amazing.
down.
Yeah. It's an amazing sport, but for some reason it doesn't catch on, and I feel like it should. It's very
so
American.
fun. It's so
It
good.
does not translate to television. And I've taken a lot of people who are like, oh, hockey. take them to a game.
Yeah, it's amazing.
They're like, this is awesome. It's a fast game. It's hard hitting.
It is.
It's got a fight. You know, back in the 90s, there was a lot more fighting. They've really kind of taken the fighting out of the game a little bit. But,
what?
Why? Yeah.
I remember when they tried to highlight the puck. Like they put a light on it.
Yes.
And then
yeah, they did that was Fox.
And then it went away real quick.
It had the little tail on it, like when it went fast.
It is so much fun though to see like in person and just watch how, I mean, they're just passing the shit back and forth, you know, and then to get a goal, the guy, are you the goalie, the big guy, like, you know, with all that stuff on, and it just slips past, or it doesn't, you know. It's such a fun
I was
game.
always the goalie on street hockey because I took up the most space.
You know, that's Alan's theory on goalieing, that they should just find the fattest
person. Like sumo,
Well, everyone thinks that Dave, you must have played basketball because he's 6'4", you know, and he's like, no, I'm not actually really good at basketball.
I don't like running, and I don't leave the ground.
So, you know, here's the funny thing. I've tried to explain this to Alan, but you know how Alan is.
Yeah, he's so hard-headed.
So I played at USF, University of South Florida, and there was a kid that you have in college, you have NCAA hockey is relatively small. It's mostly northeastern schools, and if you scatter around, there's a whole other big organization called American Collegiate Hockey Association, which they call club hockey. So it's not NCAA sanctioned. You have to pay your own way.
Okay.
But it's still very well organized. It's still pretty high level competition. And I played with a kid that had played D1 hockey, and then he had some family issues, came back home. And he would regularly put the puck between the crossbar and my shoulder like this.
Oh my!
That's why the fat guy won't work, because you can't get a guy fat enough to fill up the whole net.
Yeah, there
These
are
guys
tiny
are so
spaces.
good that they can find those little bitty holes.
Yeah, that's
that
amazing
tiny little
accuracy.
space. Yeah, that little space. And the funny thing is that, you know, we would. I mean, when I was younger, I would go to games and at, you know, between the periods and stuff, they would have little stuff contests. You know, like, oh, so and so come out. You know, and you know, if you hit this puck into the, you know, if you get a goal, you win XYZ.
Oh yeah,
you know,
bunch of money.
But they couldn't, you know, it's because they were just a regular person, you know, like trying to hit a puck.
Fun fact: I went to so for a while, Lexington had an AAHL team, American Hockey League, which is a step below the NHL.
Okay.
And Alan's being an idiot.
Yeah.
Alan's being Alan. He's hanging out.
Yeah,
here.
Alan's being. So I went to an
Alan.
AHL game, and I got picked to go down on the ice for the in between period thing.
Oh my
to shoot
gosh.
on the mascot.
Oh.
Now I am a goalie, but I do know how to shoot the puck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I won.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, are you serious? Awesome.
Yeah, I won a jersey. Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah, because a lot of people, you know, it's not
as easy as it looks.
It's like watching somebody throwing the first pitch, and it's like, I can throw from here to there, and one of the guys from our shop got to do that at like the local minor league team.
Yeah. Yep.
And it was like 15 feet, like off to the side, because he tried to put some heat on it.
Yep.
Right. You're all nervous.
Yeah. Yep. It is. Oh, Celeste says that, like, when you bring the little kids out, to fall between periods.
Yes.
Now, like, hockey season went.
I
Okay,
have no
I feel
idea
like
what
it
hockey
has.
season is.
I feel like things changed. There was like a strike like a long time ago. I feel like I remember,
COVID,
and then it
COVID
kind of
jerked
changed, and then
everything
and
up, too.
COVID too. Yeah.
So now we're back to normal. Hockey season usually starts the first or second week in October.
Okay, and goes to what?
And-
Like, is it?
And then it runs. Regular season usually ends in April, and then the playoffs go forever. So the Stanley Cup Finals usually in early June.
Holy shit! Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, that's
'Cause
like
when
baseball.
you get
It
to
just
playoffs, you've got four.
Yeah.
You've got 4 rounds of potentially 7 games each. So you have 28
Okay.
games in the playoffs. So it,
Oh,
It
wow.
takes a while to roll through that.
So it's
Okay.
I feel like
Trophy in sports.
yeah.
I know football season, baseball season is just all the time. Basketball
all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know any basketball.
Yeah.
I think he kind of runs close to hockey, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know either. I just know March Madness. Like
right.
that's
Yeah, I
because
don't
March
know.
Madness. But
I
don't
hear about it
know.
on
Being
radio,
from
yeah.
Kentucky, I have
Yeah.
to know March Madness.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So you guys are bringing the sports ball back. I'm excited. I am really pumped for football to start again. Although I
need
said,
that.
I don't want to rush summer. So for me, because we live up in the north, bringing football back means that
fall.
like fall.
Yeah.
I love fall. It's beautiful.
But it's like 2
hoodie
weeks.
weather, and then all of a sudden, it's like freezing and snow.
So who's your team?
Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. It's
My
getting
brother-in-law would be very pleased.
it's getting better. It was a rough few decades there.
It's been
They'll be
fun.
they'll be in the mix for winning the AFC this year, I think.
Oh, that's exciting.
It has just been so much fun, and it's always been just fun watching anyway because I love cheering.
But it's nice to have a franchise quarterback.
But it's
back.
really nice to see where we are just jumping up and down, literally like we have the folding table and the kids are
ready to
pretending
break
to
that shit.
jump into
Oh yeah,
it,
the kids are like faking down on the folding table.
Yeah, trick or treating in the snow. Yeah, that's how it is up here.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. Yeah. It's fun. But I also just love watching I'll watch tennis. I don't really understand tennis, but I'm like, I love good competition.
Yeah.
Here's a crazy thing. So when I have artificial heart valve.
Oh.
And
I did not know.
when I had my first open heart surgery, which was like in 2003, it was in the summertime. I started watching NASCAR. I got hooked on NASCAR. And I was like, that's so stupid. It's just cars driving in a circle. And now I'm like, let's race.
There's strategy.
Right?
I remember one time I fell
tell you
asleep
what.
in NASCAR. I woke up racist.
No.
I don't know.
NASCAR race is another thing that when you see it in person.
Oh, I imagine.
I have not. Yeah.
I was a sports editor for a while at a newspaper and got to cover it wasn't the Cup series, but it was the step below.
Yep.
And I had press pass, so I could go in the pits.
Oh wow!
I got some great photographs. But
oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's so fast and
it is fast. And they are going insane speeds, so close to each other.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it doesn't look like it on TV.
I know, but
No,
I can't
when you're
imagine
there, it's
being
like-
there. Yeah. It would be fun.
Yeah, I
think
grew
it
up
would be fun.
relatively near a dirt track, like a
Speedway.
our
yep,
speedway here, and it's like every Sunday night I'd hear him out my window, just all night, and the announcers going off and stuff.
That's fun.
I never actually got to see a race there, but one of my friends did go in the middle of the night with me in the car and race around the track a couple times.
Dave, what? You broke the law, Dave?
Yeah, it's bad. It was private property, and we were racing on the track.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's private property. Oh my gosh.
That's one of the things. So this is a fun fact about my wife. That's one of her bucket list things is to drive a NASCAR.
Really?
I kind of want to do that, either that
she
or
wants to
some
do
kind of foreign, like the.
You can do it. You
Yeah,
can drive
you can
it.
rent
now.
'em.
Yep.
Daytona has it. It's like $400 or $500.
Yep.
What is that?
Expensive.
Yeah,
We spent
you know
4 times as much to go to freaking Alan's thing.
Well, because we had Alan, we spent so much money I don't know. But it was so much fun. We had to rent a vehicle to go down.
Oh yeah, we got a
because
Suburban.
Our van did not have
your FBI car.
Yeah.
The van did not have cruise control or air conditioning. So how are we going to go to Tennessee?
Yeah.
And then the car. I cannot pack my kids in the back seat.
And all of our stuff.
Yeah, and all of our stuff. We barely made it to Niagara Falls to see Celeste with the kids.
Before all this shit hit the fan.
It was a 2-hour drive, and they
too
were
close.
fighting in the back, and I'm like,
I almost turned around.
And Dave did the dad thing, and he's like, I will turn this car
And
around.
I was serious. I'm like, we're in Buffalo. I will
Yeah.
turn around right now. I'll
and
ruin everything.
I'm like, I just want to go hang out with Celeste. Please don't ruin this for me.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, everybody should watch. Everybody should tune in to sports ball.
Yes.
I mean, what's better than this and Alan talking sports?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Yep. Oh, Matt's gonna fix our issues. He's a friend of ours that we met actually through
the millwright. He's mechanical.
Through the Liberty movement. But we found out, oh my gosh, he lives in town. And so we've hung out with him and his wife a couple times, and he's checking in on our air conditioning issues, cruise control issues. I don't want another car payment. I don't want to just have to
because we paid off our stuff like a few years ago, and it's been really nice not having a car payment.
Not having payments is a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing, especially
and it's
now.
a very important thing given what we've already talked about with the economy.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Make that vehicle work. You're gonna need it.
Make it work. And then like our middle kid is like, oh, these people are driving Teslas, and I'm like, you know what, buddy? I'm like, let's talk about being grateful. Like, let's talk about being grateful that we actually have like a super, like, it's a nice van, like, so it doesn't have roll down windows in the back. Okay.
It's got that stow and go though.
Yeah.
Man, it's got that stow and go.
Like, let's be thankful, so. Oh my gosh. I don't want to keep you too much longer. I don't know how long you want to stay up, but I have had so much fun talking with you, Mike. This has been
I'm about
so
done.
great.
Normally I go to bed like at 10 o'clock.
Oh, thanks for staying up for
Oh,
us.
yeah.
Thank you.
So you got books out and stuff. I think you just had a new one. I'm sorry I didn't research enough.
Okay, hold on a second. Watch this.
Oh, you got him right there.
Oh,
look at that.
Oh, how pretty.
I'm looking at it on my screen right now.
Look
the
at how pretty
Constitution
that is.
Owner's
So
Manual.
the Constitution Owner's Manual.
Yep.
Our Last Hope.
I see it there.
Yep.
The National Bank versus the Constitution. You can get that free over at the 10th Amendment Center, I believe.
Free?
Oh my gosh, guys. Go get it.
Let me grab this link.
Go get it.
You can't see these. Smashing Myths.
Nice.
Yep, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
Understanding
okay.
Madison's Notes on Nullification. I like nullification.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Alan,
So
you
if you're interested in books, and I don't want to hear any of this, the Constitution's stupid.
No.
So bite me.
Yeah.
So if you're not one of those people, you can go to my website, michaelmaharrey.com, and go to Michael's Books. And there's links to where you can order.
I got it right there, yeah.
Yeah,
They're on
right there.
Amazon. And then you can also actually, if you order them from me, it costs you a little bit more, but I'll autograph it.
Alan says he read one of your books, so that's cool.
Right.
Alan did actually. If you want to do the audiobook for Constitution Owner's Manual, you can hear Alan read it.
Yeah, his sweet, sultry voice explaining the Constitution to you.
It's very sexy.
Follow him on. I know you're on Facebook. Are you on any other platforms? Are you on? I know you're on Twitter.
I'm on the Twitters.
Yeah.
My Twitter is M Maharrey 10th. So M Maharrey and 10th. I'm not the best Twitterer in the world.
Yeah, it scares me. It's
Alan says
confusing
I
and
hit the
scary.
word penis in there 87 times without his knowledge.
That way it's a little bit frightening because that's not impossible.
Yep.
I'm gonna pee my pants. Oh my gosh.
You can't check everything.
Oh my gosh.
What was I saying? Oh, I suck at Twitter is what I was saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
There.
Twitter is just a wild place, man. It's
Yeah. And if you want to follow Godarchy on Twitter, you can do that too.
Yes.
Just at Godarchy.
Everybody go.
I'm worse at
yeah.
that Twitter than I am at the regular.
But you
And
have
then,
okay, so you've restarted the Godarchy podcast.
Yeah, and there's a Facebook page for the Godarchy.
You do
Okay.
a few podcasts, right?
Yeah, I do. So, what do I do? I don't know.
I know. I couldn't. There's so much stuff. I couldn't.
do a
I couldn't
lot,
get
though.
it all.
No, really, you do a lot.
I used to do a podcast on my own website called
Maharrey's thoughts or something like that.
Thoughts from Maharrey Head.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I stopped doing that quite a while ago because it was pretty much all Constitution stuff, and I don't know. I felt like I kind of
Hey, you
ran
covered
its
it all.
course.
Yeah, you
Okay.
covered it
But
all.
I do the Godarchy podcast. I do the Shift Gold Friday Gold Rap podcast. Those are the two biggies. And then Sports Ball will be coming back, so I'll be doing that one as well.
That's fun. Yeah, this is great.
This was so much
Thank
fun.
you so much for coming
Thank
back
you.
on.
You are fun to hang out with.
Well, you guys are fun to hang out with. See,
Well,
it's like
thank you.
fun begets fun.
Yeah. Yep. This was a good time. I
We try to
loved
keep
it.
it light, but people, we mostly we learn stuff, so we bring
Oh,
people
yeah.
on
Like,
and we're like,
yeah.
explain this to us.
We learned, we learned a lot from you.
I think this environment's cool because you can. It's like here's something that annoys me. You've got some libertarians. It's like they can't turn the libertarian off.
It's very
Ah,
autistic.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like think about all this stuff we talked about. We talked about economics and politics and stuff. We talked about music and we talked about sports and
Yep.
you know that's cool because like, what is the whole point of this, right? We want to live free so we can actually have a good life.
Yeah.
And enjoy yourself.
And I think too many people forget to go out and have the life, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
They're the ones that are, I don't like sports because these sports balls are spread in circuses.
It's fun.
Go eat
But it's fun.
That's literally the commercial, right?
I think it is the commercial. Yeah.
But it's fun. It's
But
like
it's fun.
we stand up, we yell at the TV, we get all excited, and it
fun.
feels good.
It's just fun.
Here's the thing. You know, I think, I'm going to get deep here. I think human beings are like evolutionarily, biologically tribal.
Yep. Oh, yeah,
Our
definitely.
tribal.
100%. Yeah.
That was necessary for survival. So that goes on, and it's unhealthy when it's directed at the state.
Yeah.
When that becomes your tribe. So, like, being in the Tampa Bay Lightning tribe, that's pretty harmless, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to tax anybody. I'm not going to start a war.
Right.
Not going to kill the other team's
Yep.
fans.
Not gonna go bomb.
I don't know.
some
There's been
kids.
some fights in the
Philly
football.
fans might.
Yeah, I was gonna say, whipping batteries around.
It's fun though. Yeah. It's a fun. Just I like.
But
it.
I mean, I get it. If you don't like sports, that's cool. But
Yeah.
I don't understand the need that some people have to mock other
Yeah.
people for the things that
Yeah.
they enjoy. You know?
Let
Yeah.
It's
people
like me.
enjoy things.
I have no interest in like comic books
Yeah.
or
Right,
that
and-
kind of thing.
But I
I'm not
respect
gonna
it a lot.
Anyway,
Yep.
you take me to comic book.
There are
'cause
people who
people
are
enjoy
way
it.
into it. Yep. So you got to scrape the joy out of life.
Yeah. That's a
So
lot
I
of
actually
different.
bought
Yeah.
a comic book though.
Yeah.
I bought the
Oh.
Rippaverse that Eric July did.
Oh,
Oh.
he's doing well. Good for
Whoa,
him.
nice.
And that was just like, I mean, I went and looked at like he had a video that he did, kind of showed some of the art and stuff. I'm like, this is really well done.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I like quality things. Like
Yep.
I like art and stuff. I'm going to support this because it's cool.
Yeah.
It's good.
There you
Somebody's
go.
doing something that's good. So
Yeah.
I just found.
I guess maybe I am a comic book guy.
You
May-
nerd.
I just found one of the Calvin old
Oh, the Calvin and
compilation of
Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh, I love Calvin and Hobbes.
Yep. and
Yeah, we got a
has-
new bookshelf.
Oh, I'm so
So we're
excited
gonna
about
have to
the
drag it
bookshelf.
down here so it's behind us.
I love it so
You know, I
much.
don't know where my Calvin. That you just mentioned. I don't know where my Calvin and Hobbes books are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I've got all of the books somewhere.
Do you? I
in a
know I
box.
have a couple.
We still have a lot of. I still have a lot of stuff that's in boxes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, same. Like
Yeah, we moved in
we've
here
been
13 years
13
ago.
years,
We still
but there's still
kinda
a couple
unpacking.
boxes I know I need to go through. Oh, Mike, this was so much
Yeah,
fun.
thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming on
being
again.
here.
And being so
He's a
enthusiastic about
fucking
coming.
nerd.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, that's Ryan. You got to meet
He's got
Ryan.
a good heart. Yeah.
Yeah,
He calls me that when
I'm
I'm
a-
reading my book.
I'm all right with being a nerd.
I am
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
okay with that.
Yeah,
Me too.
I'm proud of it.
Yep.
Because I know I'm a computer nerd. Like, that's
Yeah.
the reason that this all exists.
Yep.
Like,
well, exactly, and you know what?
Otherwise, it'd
Oh,
just
there's
be
a
like
drum set.
this. Yeah.
They were all making fun of us in high school.
Yeah.
but ha,
Yep.
ha, look now,
You work for me now.
podcast.
Oh, I kind of went the other way.
Oh my gosh, this is so fun! I can't wait to hang out with you again, like
Yeah,
in person. Cause
y'all
we-
need to come
we
to Florida.
really-
See, that's what you.
I'm down for that.
Wintertime.
To visit.
I
yeah.
need
Nobody
to-
wants to be up there in the wintertime.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I need to get away
Yeah,
from the
you do.
snow.
I'm that thick-blooded
Especially,
Pollock. Like,
February,
this is right. I
am
feel
like,
good here.
We need to be done with this now. You know,
Yeah.
February is when I'm just like, okay, this is the shortest month of the year, but it feels like the longest month
Yeah.
ever.
February's brutal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
we've got
yeah.
a pool.
Good night, Elijah. Oh my! Wow, the kids will
'Cause
be
you can use that-
We're
oh, yeah.
bougie up in
Yeah.
here, man.
bougie.
Pools make sense there. You can use them
Pool,
all
yeah,
year.
no, you can use a pool all the
That's
time.
like having a snowmobile
Not
up
me.
here. It doesn't make
Yeah.
No, I hate. So I'm the biggest wuss when it comes to being cold. I will not get in that pool after probably November.
Oh my gosh! Oh my!
Yeah.
I would
80,
probably
80
just.
degrees is about my.
That's why I say it's
threshold
only
for- for
76.
water.
I ain't getting
I would dive right in. Well, we'll come use the pool.
That's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
And we're only a mile from the Gulf, so
Oh, nice.
We do need to explore the
Yeah, we
country
do
a little
need
bit.
to explore.
We want to get
yeah.
an RV and just go on tour and like,
yeah.
That'd be fun.
and then we can write it off. That'd be great.
We've always talked about it anyway, but then since
Alan
we had
says
kids,
we'll do the 5th annual event
Yeah.
at Mike's house.
There we go.
We could do the pool side.
I'm cool with that. I mean, you know,
My
you
next
got to
door-
talk to Mike.
Ryan's gonna drown
My
though.
next door neighbor has a I'm not kidding you. In their backyard, they've got a building that is an oven.
They have what?
They have a building that is an oven. It's about the size of my office.
Oh my gosh.
They're Greek, and so he cooks lamb, and they bake bread, and they do the whole thing.
Oh my gosh.
So this is I live in the largest Greek-speaking community outside of Europe.
Really? That's interesting.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
They came over. The Greeks came over here in the early 1900s because of the sponge fishing. Because it's something that they did in the Mediterranean.
Wow.
And there's huge sponge beds out in the Gulf. And so
I did not know that was a thing.
I didn't either.
So, yeah.
Oh, but I'd eat up all that food. I would.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There's some great. I'm really amazed. So we came from Jacksonville, which is a pretty big city. Jacksonville was crap for food.
Really?
There's more food in the little Tarpon Springs, 20,000 people.
Oh,
I'm hungry.
We've got a
I
Caribbean
know.
restaurant. We've got shawarma. We've got a lot of seafood, of course, because we're on the Gulf.
Yeah.
And then, of course, all the Greek food. It's amazing.
I love food.
Yeah, I do too. I'm a fan. Too much.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I hope you come back again and visit us on our show, but I can't wait to see you again in person because you're fun.
Likewise.
Yeah, you are.
Well, this
fun.
was a blast. I really appreciate you guys having me.
Thanks, Mike. We appreciate
Hopefully
you coming
I added
back.
some value to the show.
Absolutely.
Definitely,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Top tier guest. Great.
This was great. Again, thank you
Alan
for
says
coming
we're
back.
all going to be NHL goalies.
Let's do
I'm
it.
excited,
Let's
yeah.
just do it. I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
All right.
Don't listen to Alan. He's down
Yeah.
there with the
No,
value
he's
subjective.
going nuts now. He's like the only one in the chat that's left. So he's like,
All right, man. Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right, y'all
Have a
too.
great
Peace out.
weekend.
We'll see ya.
Thank you, Mike. Bye. Oh, that's fun. Oh my, I'm gonna come back and watch this one again
Yeah.
because it was just
It's
real
a good conversation.
good.
We're all over the place, and I love all over the place because
I
it's
do
like
too.
it's fun, and then oh shit, I learned something.
Yep.
And then back to fun.
I need you to hold tight for just a sec because I gotta pee, like real bad. I know.
Okay.
Just everybody talk to Dave so he has something to say. Okay.
I know I have a button. For this.
So Derek wants to know about the Twitch bans. Yes, you can't have any.
Yeah, I don't know if somebody reported us or
if it was just that. Yes,
if
I'll be
Twitch
right back.
actually has an algorithm for nipples, but we did get a 3-day ban for that. Just shut it down, Dave. Oh wait, that's the wrong button. Where is that? Maybe it's here. This is going to get awkward for a minute. I don't know my own buttons. I have too many. You're going to haunt the 10th Amendment Center. I like what they do. I think domestic work, start at the lowest level. How are you going to rule the earth if you don't know how to rule your own household? That sounds bad. What is this? No, that's not it. That wasn't it. Cena start, Dave Trauma. Promo. Prize screen. Oh, I found it. Okay.
We love these subs! Subs are $1 off when you bring in a coupon. All things to eat, all your changes. Home only rides up for headlocks. Any coupon box. Beware of favorite cuts. The Quiznos subs.
Quiznos. Toasty.
So I've been working at my job for like 20 years, and every once in a while they make me train somebody, and it's like the worst thing because I'm already like used to my rut. Me and Mary talk about an LLN commercial a lot, but anyways, so they make me train somebody. I'm in my rut, and now I have to stop doing my job and watch somebody else who to do it for me. But it's not only do I have to teach them my job, I also have to teach them physics and geometry and how to think, and I feel like it's just not worth it. 620,173 views. See, I can't do this without Mary.
Do you really think this is the right thing for us to be doing, Ivana?
What will people think?
Let them talk.
Ivana.
Ivana. It's wrong, isn't it?
But it feels so right.
Then it's a deal?
Yes, we eat our pizza the wrong way.
Crust first.
Introducing stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. With a ring of cheese baked into a totally new, thinner crust, you'll want to eat it the wrong way. Crust first.
May I have the last slice?
Actually, you're only entitled to half.
Large, just $9.99.
No, we already spent too much money on freaking fast food today. I'm not going to order pizza.
I'm going to get Alfie's.
Yes, Raja, we still live.
Hey, Raja. I just came back. Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I told awkward stories, and then I'd play commercials.
Okay. Kavif. I know, right? I know. I think of that. Kavif. Like, what? What? Where was that? We had a great time. This was so much fun.
It was.
Like, it was.
Mike's awesome because he's super smart, but he's still down to earth, and we can have a conversation with him, and then he'll teach us some stuff. And
Yep. I'm like, can you tell me more about that? Because I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, he doesn't put you down like, what do you mean you don't know about that? Thank you. Yes. I found my yellow flower.
And I finally got the chroma key down right where yellow is okay.
Yep.
Even different shades of green.
Yes, different shades. I need to find. I have so much green stuff.
Oh,
I feel like I can't wear it.
Fifi. Yeah, I've always said
Kavif.
Kavif.
Kavif. Oh.
It's like those maymays.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We don't do bobs anymore, Raja. We don't do that here.
Can't. Twitch will just shut it down. So, guys, just so you know, for those who weren't here earlier.
Is Ivanka dead? Is that a real thing?
No, what?
Is that a
What?
thing?
Wait.
It's not a thing.
When did she die?
No.
Ivanka? What? No.
Is David playing guitar?
He is playing guitar. So Sunday night, movie night
is not happening.
Is not happening this week. It's going to be Tuesday. So, yeah. Ivana. Wait,
I don't
Ivana?
know. I don't know who these fucking people are.
Oh, who's this? Not the daughter. Okay, not the daughter. But,
The wife died? I don't
Wow. Okay.
Suspicious.
I don't know. Tuesday is going to be movie night for this week because Dave's work schedule does not permit for us to have movie night on Sunday this week again. Yeah. So,
yeah, we're in a rough time period right now. She died to death?
She died to death? All the way? So Tuesday is going to be our movie. The movie wheel said Problem Child, but we'll see.
We don't know how that got on there.
I can't remember, so I have to look at it and just see because I can't remember. Dave, we have to look at it. So, yes, just
we're gonna end soon
right
because we hate to ruin a good interview with a stupid.
Yeah,
ending.
we're gonna be done. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's on the permanent brown side of the grass. When did that happen? Has it been a long time ago, or did it just happen? Yeah, just a couple hours before she was gonna give a public statement about the Clinton crime. Oh, yeah, there you go, Harambe. I feel like I know what this movie is.
That's a 2-minute preview.
Wow, dang. Oh, I love that. Love that old You gotta play the thing.
Oh, that guy.
Yep.
Yeah, these little rascals really make life worth living.
But Ben and Flo have a problem.
Are you absolutely sure there's no
John
hope?
Ritter.
Oh, none whatsoever.
Florence, why can't we adopt?
Okay.
Oh my.
Let's get a kid.
Oh my gosh, Rippy. Oh my.
Just this morning,
A lot of dead people.
I came upon
I know why this is here.
7-year-old.
Because Crystal, when he died, when Gilbert died, she said put Problem Child on.
Rambunctious.
It could be fun.
Yeah.
Weren't we all at that age?
Oh, he does look very presentable in that little bow tie.
I remember this movie.
It's a wicked mind. Look what he did in art class. Skeletons, headless corpses.
No, please, don't hyperventilate. Either Junior goes or you find yourself some new nuns.
Hey, we must have gotten the pick of the litter.
Oh, I love Blue.
Everyone's come out to see him off.
I remember this movie.
I do now, yeah.
Present the newest member of the Healy family, Junior.
He's got the face of an angel.
It's the
Yes.
devil.
There's that kid.
You guys are insured.
He's got a special way.
Oh,
Pets.
that's Simon being Simon.
Poor Fuzzball. He'll never be the same.
He's got the keys to the car.
I remember this. Yep.
This would be fun.
Maybe all the child needs is to be loved.
Nature versus nurture.
Oh my.
You took him, he's yours. That's because you condescend to him. What am I supposed to do with the little creep? He's already been returned 30 times.
Oh, he's running with the bat.
He's mad. He's bad. He's 7.
He was doing drones back then.
Be 8 in 2 weeks.
Don't count on it.
John
Is that
Wick.
Cosmo Kramer?
That was Kramer. Yep.
Problem child.
All right.
Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. It was Crystal, because I remember when Gilbert died, and she was like, "Can we watch Problem Child in memory of And so I was like, "Well, we'll put it on the wheel and we'll see what happens."
It's either that or Godfather, and I don't know if I'm ready for that yet.
No, let's watch Problem Child. I
Yeah,
think.
we should probably check that out. I mean, that's on the bucket list.
So Tuesday. Yes. Adam Rick.
Oh yeah,
Adam Rick.
that's what him and
What's that?
Matt Lacey were talking about.
What's that? Oh, Dave's doing his thing.
Oh.
Okay, so
Mike said that was seriously as much fun as I've ever had on a show. Y'all are awesome. That's so nice.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna frame that comment.
Yeah, I will. I'll make a meme out of it. I'm gonna use that as promo material.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
All right, so now I got a piece. So we're just gonna shut it down.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
I'm just gonna shut it down.
I need to go munch on something. I didn't eat enough today, really. Like,
Damn it, dumb shit, David.
I just like that button.
David loves that button. I need some food in my belly. Good night for. Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
You going to end Fed? Mm-hmm. Don't do that.
I love you guys. I'm really sad it's not going to be Sunday that we're going to see each other again. Tomorrow is Derek's show, and he is watching UHF.
So we have to take that off.
Come hang out, because that'll be fun.
It's a good movie.
And then Tuesday. Good night, Dunmar. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Thanks for being here. I could, but I'm not. It's hard enough having to put the kids to bed and then try to figure out all this gobbledygook.
Good night.
Good night.
I don't like your T-Series. Nothing personal, kid. But I must go all out. Just this once. Bob's or Vagana, whichever will it be. Set the fuck down, T-Series. I'm here to spill the real tea. You tryna dethrone me from spot on number 1, but you in the year you lose. So best think you haven't won. When I'm through with you, we're gonna be completely fucking done. Cause we only just begun. I review you. 0 5-ish gone. So come on, T-Series. Looking hungry for some drama. Here, let me serve you bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just crying for their mama. Bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. T-Series ain't nothing but a bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. T-Series just whip himself in their pajamas. So who the hell is Bob and why you wanna kiss him? Ew. I'm a blue-eyed white dragon while you're just dark magician. Ooh. You got a fifth of the population in your nation, but I got 9 year olds the world's a whole, your defecation. Oops. Multipatlo, what the fuck is that even supposed to mean? Your language sounds like it come from a mumble rap community. No papa, yes papa, Johnny. Now down all of the sugar and let's throw this fucking party with some bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. Look at T-Series, they just crying for their mama. Bitch lasagna. Bitch lasagna. lasagna. You got a population of 1.32 billion, but most your videos can't seem to hit even a million. Subbot!
Magic potty baby, your bottle's all done. If potty training time will be so much fun. I help you with your training pants, you make me so proud. Your potty feels like magic, then it flushes out loud.
It's fun to help Magic Potty Baby learn to use her potty. Flush and you're ready for next time.
Magic potty baby, I'm so glad that you're mine.
Magic Potty Baby and her Magic Potty. No water, no mess. Batteries not included.